We're here. This is it. Welcome to the RSL Season 3 Grand Finals. I'm Tasteless. Joined with me is State. How you doing, buddy?
I'm excited. herO versus Maru in a best-of-7 finals. You couldn't ask for a better series. They've already played once in this RSL, and it went to game number 7. It was epic. It had everything you wanted. It had action, had flair, had comebacks. herO was down 3-1 early on, was able to fight back, and finally win it. And now Maru gets a chance at revenge.
Yeah, it's funny because it was a series that looked like Maru's victory was going to be an inevitability, but herO managed to kind of get in there, get the damage, and eke out the wins, closing it out with a 4-3, knocking Maru into the loser's bracket where he ultimately defeated Shin 4-1. And here we are with the rematch in the grand finals.
Yeah, and Maru has just been looking so good in every individual matchup thus far. He has been spectacular, and his TVP, it's been very defensive. It's been very macro-focused, but that's only one style that he's showcased so far here. He's mixed in a couple of siege tank timings, I think, versus Max Packs and versus herO, but we haven't seen too much mid-range from him, and so going into this grand finals, I'm wondering if there's more TVP strategies yet to explore here with Maru, if he has any tricks up his sleeves.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out soon enough. I'm super excited to get this finals going, but first, we got to say special thank you to Archon Studio. This is the 3rd season they've supported the RSL. Guys, they're the tabletop miniatures game, the premier makers in the whole world of tabletop miniatures games, I should say. And the StarCraft set is coming out. We got mailed early the first figurine, SC2 here. This thing looks amazing. It looks like it's right out of the game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm actually holding this up under a light so you can't see it. Here it is now. But go check this out. Go to their website, and they've got a bunch of other great stuff up there as well. But I really love what they're doing. They're really kind of honoring StarCraft and making this miniatures game look amazing. There's been a lot of cool stuff coming out with StarCraft lately, by the way.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hearthstone decks, now Archon Studios making the tabletop miniatures game. So we really appreciate them. And by the way, those of you who are watching, if you want to support us in our endeavor and bringing out regular, seasonal, high-quality StarCraft II content, consider signing up. We'll take any support you're willing to give us. We've got all sorts of different tiers, not just the ones mentioned here. And if you aren't in a position to support us financially, you can just join the Patreon for free.
Yeah, get some news added in as Patreon supporters. Also enjoy a 20% discount on Tasteless TV merch at tastelessthreads.com. You get the RSL hoodie, the mug. You know, it's winter. It's getting cold, especially if you're here in the Northern Hemisphere. So make sure you pick those things up, as well as a discount, I think, on the tickets to the offline finals happening later this year.
Yeah, guys, go ahead and check out the tickets here. We've got regular tickets as well as premium. So this is for the offline finals here. On December 13th and 14th, it's going to be at The Big Place in Seoul. And we're going to eventually not have any spots left. So if you're going to come out here in December and see our offline event, be sure to get these now.
Yeah, make sure you come out. If you're coming to Seoul, Korea, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have the players live in the studio. We're going to have the casters. They're going to have a live audience. It's going to be everything that you hope for an offline finals, December 13th and 14th. On the 13th, it's going to be a single elimination bracket for all of the players who competed in the RSL. Everybody gets a chance to fight for a spot to join the champions on day 2 in a 4-player playoff.
Yes, and so definitely... it's going to be amazing. If you can't come in person, definitely tune in online. We're super excited for this. And here is the overview here of our grand finals. So this is an exciting one, man. herO versus Maru.
Yeah, it's going to be so epic. I'm excited for this. The best of 7 they played earlier on in the series, or earlier on in the RSL, I should say, was already one of my favorite PvT series that we've had this entire year. As Maru just seems like he is really leveling up in the RSL. It felt like for a little while, especially after EWC, Maru wasn't quite performing to the expectations, which are obviously very high for one of the best Terran players of all time, and constantly just one of the best Terran players in the world. But here in the RSL, I mean, my goodness, he's just been destroying everybody. herO's the only person who had a chance of stopping him, and it went all the way down to a Game 7.
Yeah, and so this should be a fun one. I think it's going to be just as close as the previous one, because you couldn't get closer than that. But, herO, he's got a very inventive style. He does seem to struggle if the game goes long versus Maru. So I think if herO wins this, it'll be a shorter finals. If Maru takes it, it should be a longer series.
Yeah, herO definitely has been favoring a lot of aggression In the PvT matchup, he likes to go for a very fast expand style where he takes a lot of bases and then plays with typically a low-tech army and just tries to destroy the Terran with sheer numbers. You try to overwhelm, you try and break particularly the 3rd and the 4th base of Maru, and the best of 7 series they played yesterday, honestly, who won and who lost was largely determined by whether or not herO could make any headway with those kind of pushes.
Yeah, he's trying to get in there and basically cripple the Terran and then finish them off with some kind of a killing blow. So one of these two is going to make it. We should note there are already 2 Protoss players who've qualified for the offline event finals, and that is Zhao and Classic. So there's a possibility we have 3 Protosses, or it's going to be 1 Terran qualifying for that with Maru.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are going to be cheering for Maru just to get some more diversity there in the top 4 of the RSL offline finals, as the Protoss, they've been feasting so far this year, man, especially in the RSL.
Yeah, it's we've had some patches come out here, and it does feel like Protoss are looking pretty strong. But you never know. I mean, Maru, sometimes it takes him a little while, and then he does seem to kind of bubble up to the very top of all the Terran players that there are. So we're going to get into Game 1 now in this best of 7. And we should note that if we get a bracket reset here, so if the loser comes up, in this case it would be Maru. Let's say that Maru wins here. It wins this best of 7. There is a reset where it goes to a best of 3.
Yeah, this is a double elimination playoff bracket, so every player at the start of the bracket has 2 lives. So far, herO has lost 0 lives. Maru has lost 1 from that best of 7, where herO was able to defeat him 4-3. And so Maru, if he wants to win this entire tournament, he has to knock herO out in this best of 7, and then we're going to a best of 3 to decide everything.
Yeah. Now, if herO just wins, he's out.
Yeah, perfection.
So he just takes it because, he's had basically a perfect run so far. Anyways, into our game here, we have herO in the bottom left and Maru here in the top right on one of our smaller maps here for the RSL.
Yeah, it's going to be Evil Heart here to start things out in game number 1, as some of the more aggressive maps do happen to come through in these best of 7s. You can't veto everything in our 9 map pool, And what an interesting build we have coming in from both players so far. herO, on his side of the map, going for a no-scout double gas opening. So he's going to be tacking up very rapidly here. And Maru also is going for an in-base second barracks.
Yeah, okay. He actually measured that area with a gateway. I was like, he's going to go double gate? Like, what are we talking about? Okay, so it's going to be a Reaper opening here. That is a trick some people don't know about. Sometimes you can measure if you can put a building there by taking a cheaper building and kind of laying it out.
I do that with a simulator. It only costs $75. You can bring up the wireframe on it, whatever you call it, a little hologram before you place a structure,
it's
right?
Always like a hologram. In this game, Maru's going to be aggressive immediately here. Yeah. And he's going for 2 Reapers. Now, it's funny because he didn't, proxy these. So this is, maybe he's going to show a Reaper early and then pocket a couple and kind of explode with Reapers to do some damage. I could be wrong, but let's see. I don't feel like this is something you can trickle out Reaper after Reaper after Reaper, because I think the Protoss can just hard adjust.
It seems like Maru is banking Reapers. I wonder if he's going to come out with the second one. Oh, he actually is going to come out with it right away. Because I saw the factory go down, and I was thinking, in this situation, maybe Maru is going to pull a couple of Reapers early, expecting herO to expand, and then just explode onto the map with the Reapers, with the Hellions, trying to get economic damage done onto herO. But no, he's just going to be scouting around with these Reapers. Now, the 2 on the map will come back to try and defend against this 1 Zealot coming out from herO, which, unfortunately for herO, is not going to be able to stand a chance, not going to get any real meaningful damage done. But at least it scouted the double racks opening, because herO knows those Reapers, they take a long time to build. It has to be 2 barracks. And look at that.
So cool. It's going to be a Dark Shrine. What a weird looking game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, this is really exciting. So he is, it almost looked like he was going to bounce a Stalker into range again to kill that Reaper. Okay, so, one thing we got to point out is that, if you don't know the DTs are coming, this could really surprise you, because, oh my god. He's still, you know what, it's funny, I just decided in my head he was making a command center. He's still on 1 base. Yeah,
still on 1 base here from Maru. It's going to be a siege tank push coming through.
So, I think this is going to go really well for herO.
Yeah, I think it should.
I think, and I could be wrong. This is like an interaction I haven't really seen before.
Maru's done one base builds like this in the RSL already in TVP. He gets very aggressive, but he never gets tech lab for Ravens on that starport. At least he hasn't thus far in RSL Season 3. And so
obviously, if you're on one command center, that's only one scan, right? So that's really not a lot at all. Like two DTs can ruin your day here. So this seems like a very calculated adjustment against kind of unusual build. And right now, I got to say it's kind of ballsy to be hunting these down because one Reaper runs around and gets inside your main. You're going to be spotted. And, DTs, it's even more true in StarCraft II than StarCraft 1, but, DTs, if you know they're coming, you're in so much better shape. So I think he probably wants to run by with the first one. He scans.
Now one DT is revealed, the other just waiting right outside that scan.
And he has no energy.
Yeah, he's got to wait for the next scan. So he's actually going to swap the factory and the starport right now to begin the Raven. But this DT should be able to get one of these depots down at least. SCVs are going to have to be pulled here for repair. And at the very minimum, herO is buying himself a ton of time. He is on two bases right now to the one base of Maru. And so even if he could just buy a couple of seconds, that's going to go a very long way in defending the one base push Maru's trying to execute.
A couple other thoughts here too. First of all, you could counterattack with DTs. Then it's no longer about the Raven just seeing you. But I think the idea here is pretty perfect, is he's going to get more gateways, get immortals, and just have charge lots and try to overwhelm this.
All right, DT does get spotted there by the Raven, so now Maru can finally get out onto the map. And herO, he's got Blink done already. He is researching charge as well. So with these 4 Stalkers, he's going to try and kite to the best of his ability to slow the push of Maru, because even though herO was able to buy a lot of time, this push has a lot of firepower. SCV is also joining the front lines.
Okay, so he's going to be coming down here. If Maru does not pull this off, it's likely the game ends. There's not really a plan B here. I mean, this is a crazy one base play. He is patiently making sure that the tanks can lead enough. Remember, the tanks can be repaired here, whereas... hold on a second. The Archon's going to come right here into the front. It is shot down immediately.
And that Archon getting basically no damage in. Sentry is going to be warped in right now. We might energy recharge that for Guardian Shield, but in any case, probes are going to be pulled here from the natural expansion. Immortal trying to stutter step forward, but the Marines do focus fire that down. Stalkers are getting targeted as well by those siege tanks. A lot of the Marine count has been thinned, but at the cost of 20 probes and almost the entire army here of herO.
I mean, this is kind of crazy. If he doesn't stop this right now, the game is going to end. The auto turret is chucked right down so that the Immortal can't get too close to the tanks. Oh, I think he just did it. I think he just won game 1.
That's incredible.
This is insane.
herO went for the DTs. They bought him so much time. He was macroing on these 2 bases, but perhaps he didn't quite respect the threat of the one base push coming in from Maru, because Maru is now in the main base here of herO. The entire main mineral line is pulled, and Maru is taking game number 1 on Evil Heart. I really thought herO was going to win that game.
Yeah, no, I was looking at that and I'm like, well, he's done everything perfectly. Usually with an attack like that, all you got to do is stop him or slow him down a little bit, and by then you've bought enough time. I do think what herO could have done is he could have had another DT to try to counterattack, because that would force the Raven back. Or maybe actually have 2 DTs, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
There's like something to slow it down, but at the same time, when the push was coming out, I thought, well, this just adds up. There's going to be Immortals and charge lots. All you got to do is shoot the tanks down with the Immortals and surround everything with the charge lots. The Archon was killed off immediately.
Yeah, it got like 1 shot off on, I think, SCVs, and that was basically it.
It almost seemed like he was... I would have to watch again from the replay, but it seems like some of the army was fished in
perhaps
early, and then he maybe his screen wasn't over it, and he goes back and he grabs it, tries to pull everything back. But the Archon, it had like 1 shot and it was killed, and you probably needed at least 3 shots from that on the Marines to kind of wipe everything out.
Honestly, though, I feel like if herO controlled that perfectly, he's still not going to be able to defend that push. It was kind of a misread, it seemed, in herO versus Maru, because the way that it looked, herO was going into gases number 3 and 4. He was getting charge researched. He wasn't really anticipating, I think, the one base play coming in from Maru, and as a result, he didn't have quite enough to deal with what Maru was throwing at him.
All right, we're going to go into game 2 now. And, oh, sorry, I thought for a second he was going to send the SCV out to make barracks is here. Let's see if he does that one base play again. I mean, the fact that herO had a really novel answer to that, and the first half of it worked, And the rush still worked for Maru. I feel like it's very, very tempting to try to do that again.
Yeah, but Celestial Enclave, I feel like, is not the map that we will see a siege tank push like that again in this series. It's one of the
pretty far.
best defensive maps that we have in the pool. Actually, no, it is just the best defensive map we have in the pool. There's the pocket expansion. It's very easy to secure 3 or 4 bases here, especially as Terran, with planetary fortresses, with liberators, with siege tanks there and static defense. And that has been Maru's MO here. He did it versus herO. He did it versus Max Packs. His TVP on these large macro maps is basically him trying to craft the perfect army.
So, in the previous series where these guys fought, the basic theme was that if herO couldn't kill Maru when he got his 3rd base, Maru was pretty much unstoppable. There was one game he actually did manage to overcome him in the end of the series, but most of the other games, it was either herO does damage really early on and cripples Maru and finishes him off, or Maru just gets too big to fail. He's just got too much supply. He's too good at kiting and using stutter step micro, and basically just overwhelmed him.
Yeah, and I think part of that is just a symptom of the way that herO plays. He goes for this mass expand style without really teching up for a long time. If he does tech up, it's usually just into a couple of Colossus. He doesn't go into Tempest very quickly or Carriers or Storm very quickly. It's more about brute force. He has a ton of Zealots, a ton of Stalkers, but frankly, it's just a ton of Zealots. Sometimes he'll play on 3 gases for the longest time and just try and barrel down the Terran's defenses. And that doesn't scale very well into the late game. It doesn't matter if you have incredible economic might, if your upgrades are lacking, if your tech is lacking. Once you max out, you're still just going to have Zealots.
Yeah. herO, I think in some ways, he's one of my favorite players to cast, especially with, SOS. I guess he's back now, but he hasn't been as active, right? But he just has a very interesting way of approaching matchups where he kind of sees these holes in the opponent's play that a lot of other people don't see, and he seems to be very good at exploiting that. So in this game, it's going to be a Stargate, and like we were saying earlier, this is probably going to be a slower game just due to the map. I think if Maru brings out his 1-base play, it'll probably be on a map that just it's a shorter travel distance, basically. And it's going to be a Phoenix.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a little bit different. I'm trying to think back to the games I saw from herO versus Maru yesterday, and I can't remember a lot of Phoenix play in that series. And herO, even though he won that best of 7, it didn't feel like it was going to happen. Maru went up 3-1, and the wins that Maru had, they felt very convincing, but the wins that herO had, a lot of the time, it was like he was just barely edging Maru out over the course of the series, right? We had maybe one game where herO got a ton of momentum early, and it was just a very convincing win, but besides that, it was him just barely able to defeat Maru. And so maybe herO is coming into this best of 7 with a little bit of a different game plan.
Yeah. Well, I think, truth be told, I think herO, if I'm understanding the matchup in its current state correctly, I think he's got to have more builds. You know what I'm saying? To take this on, I think Maru's fundamentals in some of these bigger maps is pretty solid, right? And sometimes you have these maps, depending on what matchup you're playing, where you just go, all I got to do is expand and get pretty big, and I'm probably going to win the game. So this is a cool one here from herO. herO's really brought a lot of novelty into the series so far. He's going to pool Phoenixes. And at this point in time, Maru has no idea this is coming here. Now, this could be ideally to punish a Widowmine drop.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Actually, it's Hellions coming through. Hellion Marine and 2 Widowmines. Oh, what a funky... Or it's a Reaper. This is like a Beyond drop right here. And, the Phoenix are just able to dispatch this so easily.
Variety
2
pack
probes.
drop.
Yeah.
So that is... I really like that. I mean, he's killed off 3 probes. Meanwhile, the medevac and all the units were killed. So that's a really good start. And I like what herO's doing here. And now he can really press Maru back at home. Now, Maru is making a 3rd command center. He didn't make it on spot at the little pocket base. But this is going to be a little bit more damage here for herO as well. So, I mean, this is a great start for him.
Oh, he's able to even find the Raven right now. So Auto Turret's going to have to get dropped, and the Phoenix are able to take that thing down. So a lot of value being found by these early Phoenix. And against the more control style of Maru, where Maru's just trying to secure 3 or 4 bases and slowly build up and then encroach on the herO side of the map, I do like this Phoenix build order selection coming in game number 2 because Maru in most of these macro games, he's still going for some kind of finesse play early on to do economic damage versus herO, whether it be Hellions and Reapers or a Widowmine drop or some kind of Cyclone Marine push. And so in this case, herO is able to basically just stop that in the tracks. He parries it with the Phoenix. He didn't reveal them until the drop came in. And then the follow-up is him adding on even more Phoenix. He's up to 6, 7, maybe even 8 right now. It's a pretty significant number, and he can pick off SCVs. He can force a big response from his opponent while getting a lot of scouting information and expanding on his side of the map.
Nice. He actually snipes one of those Phoenixes, dropping the number to 6. And, you know, herO's basically setting up to get, the big gateway explosion over here. So here's what's interesting about this, and I don't know if it's going to happen or not. You don't have to expand outwardly as Terran. Okay? If the Terran expands inwardly, as in he takes that pocket base, there's not going to be an easy way to attack. But if the Terran is greedy and expands outwardly, I think that there's a world where herO might be able to crush that third base. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, herO just added on 7 more gateways.
Yeah.
He's adding Immortals. I think the Templar Archives is likely going to be for Archons and not for Storm. Just seeing the way that herO has played this thus far, he's very aggressive, and Storm in the current iteration of StarCraft II, it's a much better defensive and zoning tool than it is aggressive, partly because the duration lasts so long. If you use it aggressively, your Zealots are also going to be charging through it. It lasts a very long time. And so he's morphing the first couple of Archons right now. Immortal is getting started. He's still expanding behind this, but I like the way you phrased it. This is a build order by herO that is designed to destroy Maru if he gets overambitious and takes a forward command center, but Maru is not doing that. He's taking the pocket base first.
So this is a really smart move, and it just kind of highlights Maru's big decision-making and how solid he is. He's not going to put this game in a position where he could be vulnerable. He knows basically his opening strat blew up in his face. herO kind of blind countered it perfectly. But yeah, he's gone the conservative route. Now, herO still has a scary army, and maybe the same thing happens where the 4th base is. That's basically what we're looking for next.
Yeah, especially considering the pocket base is effectively half an expansion. There's only 1 Vespene Geyser. There aren't the full 8 minerals that you get at other bases. So Maru's going to be wanting a little bit more. The 4th command center is just now finishing here for Terran, and I think this is going to be him trying to move out and secure another expo. I'm not sure where it will be. It being in the Wallen right now makes me think that he's going to try and go for this very close base that Mapu was pointing out, as opposed to the one that's more of the triangle expansion. But that is definitely a position that will be siegeable by herO.
Yeah. So Psystorm's about to finish. Remember, if you just are only tuning in for the finals, don't forget there was a major patch change, and Psystorm lasts longer now, but does less damage. So it seems like the byproduct of that is Terran can kind of like be hit by it and just run through it or run out of it, where before, the damage was basically unavoidable.
Yeah, the DPS is a lot lower. If you stand in it, it does more damage than it did initially, but you're never going to see a player like Maru eat the entire storm, and so it's much better as zoning tool. It's like an area that Terran does not want to enter, and so you can kind of use it similar to the way you would use a force field if you're pushing into a position where Maru's not going to want to put his army there, and that might mean that herO can get a better concave, say, if he's pushing into an expansion by limiting the surface area that Maru has to work with. And by the way, what a cool move coming in, picking off basically every single one of these Widow Mines. One will survive, and herO's actually just going to push it to the natural. Oh man!
Oh my god! I was about to say, like, there's almost no way that you could force this, right? But apparently you can. Now he's got to kind of pull through the rest of the army. Oh my god!
I can't believe this worked! herO just completely destroyed the defensive position of Maru in one fell swoop. We thought the natural expansion was safe. We thought it was going to be the 4th that was the point of contention.
Like, literally our whole lead up was like, well, he can't be killed with this, and he just like ripped Maru's face off.
I can't believe it!
That was insane. That was maybe one of the best attack-ins I've ever seen.
It must have been so unexpected, too.
Yeah.
I mean, we can see everything. We see herO posturing in front, and we still don't think he's going to push in. There's no way that Maru thinks he's going to push in.
Yeah, no, when we saw the army out there, I was like, well, he's just going to basically make it hard to land the command center. And then he's like, just flies in.
The storm drop is absolutely massive. And look at this transition coming in from herO. He knows he just killed a ton of SCVs. Maru's down to 43 workers. He knows that he killed the command center as well. Maru needs to remake that if he wants to take a 4th base. So what is herO doing? He's going up to 3 Stargates of Fleet Beacon and getting +1 air weapons. This is a huge transition.
I love this. And I got to wonder, is there going to be another attack in here? I guess we would need Psystorm again if that was going to happen. Well, I think he's just trying to bait out what he can there. All right, well, I think the Zealot dies at the end of this fight. But herO's on so many bases. Uh-oh, almost flew the Warp Prism into the wrong spot there. The Viking's going to try to chase that down. I don't think that Warp Prism can merge up with the rest of the army.
Nah, it's just going to fly away, and herO, no way. Are you actually pushing it again? He is! All right, here we go. There's a storm from the low ground, actually. That's going to be zoning this area away. Maru does not want to encroach on that, and herO just keeps moving forward. Somehow he makes these pushes into Maru's natural expansion work, this time despite going for the 3 Stargate transition behind it. I think Maru is very close to stabilizing here, but we still have 3. What? Make that 4 Archons, 2 Immortals. This might actually just be too much.
GG.
Wow.
herO. That was so good.
Talk about killer instinct. Who looks at that natural expansion of Maru and says, you know what, I bet I can break this?
I mean, it was, you never, ever see that. I mean, like, think about the, just yesterday, actually, we saw so many moments where herO lost fights simply because of the SimCity. There was like a depot-size opening.
Yeah.
And he just wedged his whole army through it. Some of the units were still hitting the command center. The storms were insane. And you can see there really wasn't a lot of room. So like the Terrans just kind of moving through more and more storms. I'm so impressed with herO.
Yeah.
That I think might be one of the most impressive attacks I have ever seen in all of StarCraft II.
It was just an incredible engagement, and it was so unexpected because he's going for all of these bases. You know, he has a lot of gateways. There's a lot of firepower in that army, but it's not an army, it feels like, is designed to push into a natural expansion. You got a lot of charge zealots, you got a lot of storm. The new storm isn't very good for pushing. I mean, obviously it's still a useful tool, but it's not the same as the storm that got all the DPS out in just a couple of seconds previously. It lasts longer, but the DPS is lower, you know? And despite that, herO still pushes in with everything and just makes it work. I mean, that was awesome.
Really beautiful to see. Guys, consider joining us at patreon.com/Revive SC2. We would not be able to put on this production without your support. We've got many different tiers. Any of them that you can sign up for, we will love you forever. And if you don't, you're not in a position, to sign. You can't pay monthly. That's fine. You can join the Patreon for free.
Yeah, we would love to have your support there on patreon.com. This tournament would not be possible without you. Anyway, folks, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, this best-of-7 finals between Maru and herO will continue. Welcome back, everybody, to the RSL Season 3 Grand Finals between herO and Maru. We are all tied up 1-1 right now, getting ready to go into game number 3. I'm State. With me is Gemini, and man, these games have been so good so far.
Yeah, some pretty action-packed ones. It's pretty great as well that we have a 1-1 already at the beginning of the series. I mean, the last series that they played earlier on in the bracket was also just so insane back and forth. The fact that Maru started off with a 3-1 and then he ends up losing the series was just a total cinema, I would say, and we're already getting towards that in this second set as well.
Yeah, you don't usually see players win 3 maps in a row in any kind of Best of X series. I mean, it's just not something that happens in StarCraft II. Momentum is so big in these Best of X series, but herO was able to pull it back in that upper bracket final. That's why he's the top seed coming here into the grand final. It's why he still has 2 lives left. But Maru, boy, is he making a good run of it. It was a Game 7 in the upper bracket final that decided herO's victory, and already it's tied up 1-1. These two feel so evenly matched.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell who's going to actually come out on top in this grand finals. Even their match history before this, it was always so neck and neck this year, just always taking blows back and forth. These two are like the perfect match, basically, for a finals, and it's great that we actually have them here.
Yeah, they produce some of my favorite PBT games ever because Maru is like the perfect, cleanest Terran player you have ever seen. It's immaculate, some of the builds that he does. And then herO is just this agent of chaos and destruction. And the dichotomy of those two things makes it so interesting, especially when you have games like we just saw in game number 2, where Maru's developing up. He's trying to build up this big economic base where he can expand and take a 4th and play the long macro game. And herO just goes guns blazing into the natural expansion. I mean, how often do you see engagements like that? Basically never, but in a series between herO and Maru, that's almost what you expect.
Yeah, that fight in that last game was just absolutely ridiculous. Getting the lifts on the mines and then just full setting with the drop, with the storms and everything. It's just a pure... one of those fights that you never expect Hero to take, and then it just wins the game, and you're just like, well, okay, I guess I don't understand StarCraft anymore. Like,
yeah,
Hero's the guy that makes you question everything you know about this game, and he is for sure going to be doing something maybe a little cheeky. This one too. Never mind. I thought that was an extra probe going out on the map, but it looks like he's just going to expand like normal.
Yeah, actually going to be a Nexus before Cybernetics Core. So a bit of a greedy expand coming in here by herO, and he's going to pair that up with a Probe Scout. Just going to try and find out exactly what Maru is getting up to, because here on Maganatha, even though it looks like a very macro-focused map with all the expansions at both players' disposal and the seemingly easy-to-defend third base, this is one of the maps that leads to some of the strongest siege take timings that we see in TVP.
Yeah, you can get pretty close across the map pretty quickly, even though it does feel like it is quite a large map. So it's a bit deceiving in that regard. It's also open for a lot of proxies because there's lots of opportunities just to put some pylons in really awkward positions. It's very difficult to scout them, but it doesn't look like Hero's going to go for that. I mean, he has gone for some proxy Stargate and other things like that against Maru in the past, so we're not even we can't rule that out. It's always a possibility that he could throw that out in this series. A lot more games to go, more options for him, but for now, he's just going to be sitting back at home for now. I'm surprised that he's going to whip out that Stargate at all, even in the one base, or in his main base, because it's not something we see as much anymore. It's mostly always going to be that Twilight for Blink or Charge.
Yeah, it was really cool to see herO add in the Stargate in the previous game. This time it will be the Twilight Council coming in for herO. He's going to go for the more tried and true defense. And for Maru, I'm half expecting him to go into siege tank production very quickly out of this factory, just because herO, the rate of expansion that he's had, not just in this series, but also in the previous Best of 7 that they play, it's very high. He's playing this incredibly economic-focused, but typically low-tech style PvT, and one of the best ways to punish that is with a fast siege tank push.
For now, he's going to still be going for the Hellion to make sure that he can at least get some scouting information, potentially drop it somewhere if he wants to go for a medevac later. But a lot of times you do just get that singular Hellion, throw it across the map with the Reaper a little bit, try to see if you can get into the natural or a little bit further away. herO trying to zone them out, unfortunately won't be able to do so, but it does get a lot of damage onto the Hellion, which actually is nice as the third Stalker. He's making a lot of Stalkers this early game. It's not normal that you go for so many. Usually it's like a 2 Adept Stalker or something like that, but this time it's a 3 Stalker opener, so he will be able to zone these units out for now, but the Reaper does find its way over unless the Stalker can meet it before it gets into the natural. Looks like, yeah, he will, so great scout denial from herO with this Reaper and Hellion.
Yeah, good job denying the scouting information there from Maru, as the Stalker is still trying to chase down this Reaper. And I want to go back and watch this replay because it feels like we had so many Stalkers come out of that gateway so quickly. How often do you see 3 Stalkers like this? Basically never. And behind it, we also had a Sentry that came. So Hallucination Scout going to be a possibility here for herO in a moment as he's still trying to chase down this one Reaper. Simultaneously, Maru is going for a double medevac drop. Unfortunately for herO, the Stalker is just a couple pixels away from controlling that Zelnaga Watchtower. So he did miss the drop coming in, but I'm not sure how much Maru is going to be able to get done.
Yeah, where the rest of the Stalkers positioned, I think he's actually got a good amount of them still in the natural, so he's going to be fine there. 2 in the main as well, so it's not like he's completely out of position. Goes for the insta-surround. He doesn't get it in time, and unfortunately, Maru doesn't actually get the click quite early enough onto those probes, so herO will be able to get away. Only losing 2. Maru loses everything, including the medevac. Losing the medevac as well makes this much better for herO. He doesn't have to worry about a Widowmine, getting stuck in there in the corner, and you have to worry about it later, so very nice hold from herO.
Yeah, that could have been so bad for herO because he went for the bold probe drill to try and stack them up on top of that Widowmine and just focus fire it down and failed. A lot of probes could have fallen, but in the end, somehow when the dust settled, herO was able to get on top, just losing 1 Stalker and a handful of probes. And now it looks like Maru, he might not be going into that early push. It seems like instead he just wants to control this area right outside his natural expansion.
funny little blink, trying to get that medevac and just ran into an invisible wall there. But we'll be able to get back into the main anyway. I love that he uses the hallucination to trigger the Widow Mine, get that out of the picture. 2 Stalkers also attacking the front as they were left away, trying to get stimmed as he will be able to target it down. Suicides a lot of the Stalkers to be able to get it. The SCV's nowhere near to be able to repair, and so that means no stim. It's going to delay whatever push Maru was going to try to go for so long. You need stim to be able to do anything like that, and then immediately Maru throws down a 3rd CC.
Yeah, stim and combat shields both canceled there by Maru, and it cost herO a lot of army supply to do it. Many of those Stalkers did go down, but the punch that Maru has, I mean, this is going to be a push with very little teeth. It's all about the siege tanks on this one. The bio itself on the ground, it doesn't have a lot of micro potential without stim. It doesn't have a lot of sustain without combat shields.
This is going to be pretty tricky for him to be able to get across the map. I mean, there's not many units overall for herO at the moment just because he had to suicide so many of the Stalkers to get both of those key upgrades canceled. So there's still going to be some amount of leeway that Maru can maybe try to work with here, but you can see he doesn't feel incredibly confident with it. He's just kind of going here and there trying to pick off whatever unit he can, because it's so difficult to just walk across the map without stim. Like, you feel so vulnerable without that key upgrade.
Yeah, especially considering that the way Maru approached this game, it wasn't a super dedicated siege tank push that was the game plan. He went for combat shields and stim very quickly because he just wanted the one siege tank to anchor the defense, and then he wanted to be very active on the map at this stage in the game. Unfortunately, the upgrade denial means that Maru is just going to have to bide his time, allow herO to take a 4th base, allow him to get his tech up, his infrastructure up back at home, and only in, 20 or 30 seconds when stim is done, will Maru truly unlock the potential of the army that he's been building up to.
Right. herO's trying to poke away at this army on the left-hand side, distracted, so that way the Zealot run-by can go into the natural. This is a bit unorthodox to try to go for such a big Zealot run-by before your opponent is even on 3 bases. It's usually hard to get inside because the rally point is just going to be there. So basically just forces the SCVs off, just kills a few units, and then just is able to back away. And a massive SCV pull is the response from Maru. I actually kind of like this.
Wow. All right, stim is done, and Maru is finally unleashed. It's going to be a 1-1 timing here with a ton of SCVs at the 3rd base of Maru, or at the 3rd base of herO, excuse me. And how much does herO actually have back at home to defend this? He's getting Colossus tech out. Thermal Lance is nearly done. Oh, that's a pretty mighty army. If we can get a 2nd Colossus here for herO, that's going to go a long way to dealing with these SCVs. As the engagement happens outside the natural in the 3rd base here from herO, the Zealots instantly getting shredded on the front line. Colossus focus fire down there by the Marauders. And Maru, it seems like right now, has a little bit too much. herO's going to have to retreat to the safety of the shield battery.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't actually realize that the SCV pull was happening for so long. He did have that Zealot flank come on in, which did help a bit in the engagement, but it also meant that the initial army wasn't really strong enough to batter down what Maru's bringing. He's still able to stay in this fight for a little bit. Reinforcing Colossus and a few more units are going to help deny this for now, but the bio continues to stand strong. A reinforcement wave comes on in as this Colossus is exposed on the front line. It's going to get sniped down. Maru is eclipsing herO in supply.
Man, the reinforcements from Maru look like an even stronger army than the one he already had there on the front line, just immediately dispatching that Colossus. And now Maru, he's pushing into the natural expansion where we have the Robo Bay, where we have the robotics facility, the production coming offline before the Colossus is done here for herO, as it looks like, although herO was able to disrupt the initial timing from Maru by canceling, or I should say denying combat shields, by denying stim, Maru still with his SCV pull just finds the window to exploit this weakness in herO's build.
Yeah, I absolutely love this decision from Maru to be able to whip this out, despite getting totally destroyed in the early game scenarios. He's just totally fine to do whatever he wants with a follow-up push. And I mean, you can see herO, he's just like, how the hell did I lose this game, dude? Like, I got stim and combat shield. He was on 2 bases. I could have swore he was taking a 3rd base, right? I saw that 3rd CC. No, it's a fake. SCV's pulled across the map, and herO doesn't even want to accept this loss yet.
I mean, what a shocking turn. Game number 3 is taking in Maru's favor. herO just digesting the loss. Finally, GG is called. And Maru from the lower bracket going up to a 2-1 lead here versus herO.
Dude, Imagine if we get the reset. Oh, it would be so sick.
Yeah, that
I
would
want
be
it
awesome.
so bad. We haven't had a reset happen. We reintroduced it last season, and it wasn't. It didn't unfortunately happen. You know, Classic kind of bopped down a little bit, but I mean, Maru is looking so good right now in this entire tournament. herO, the only one able to best him so far, and he's already up 2-1 so far in this grand finals.
Yeah, Maru's looking really good too. I feel like the range that we're seeing from Maru, it's considerably more than we saw from him yesterday. And he's dealing with these crazy situations that herO is ushering in quite well as well. I mean, how many players would just falter immediately upon losing combat shields and stim? Maru, he was still able to leverage a lot of pressure by moving out into the middle of the map. That forced herO maybe into slowing down the tech into splash damage. We only had, I think, one Colossus out when the SCV pull commenced, and Thermal Lance still was not done. It was nearly completed, but not yet finished. And whenever you don't have splash damage and the bio's just been accumulating for minutes after minutes, it's a tough problem for Protoss. Unless you have overwhelming numbers and get huge surface area with Zealots, you're going to have a hard time taking down a Terran force like that one. And so Maru, in kind of a strange turn of events, is able to lose combat shields, lose stim, and find a way to turn that into an advantage by just having this massive bio ball.
Yeah, I love the way he feigned pressure with that, maybe still making herO believe that he was actually going to commit with the push, and so really just adapting to the situation as best as possible. Maru, you can never count this guy out. He's been able to make incredible comebacks before in games and in series, and so really, no matter what happens in this early game, I feel like we have to give credit that Maru will find a way to still make it a game and potentially even win it, given that last one as well. So game 3 coming up here, game 4 on Tokamak, a more standard map overall, so I don't expect anything super insane or super crazy coming out from either of the players, but yeah, I just really don't even know what to expect from either. I mean, herO's brought out so much stuff, Maru's brought out so much interesting greed as well every now and then, so I'm very excited to see what we got.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what's so exciting about a series between these two is you never know what any game is going to give you. Both herO and Maru are capable of so many different builds. They've got a lot of tricks up their sleeves, and herO especially, this entire RSL, I mean, I was going to say he's been aggressive this entire RSL, but he's been aggressive his entire career as a StarCraft II pro gamer. He's just so much fun to watch.
We'll see what he actually wants to go for, of course. Getting the Nexus down nice and good. Trying to be as annoying as possible with this little probe scout as well. Just zapping away at these SCVs. He is actually one of the players as well that I remember at some point even experimented with doing consistent pylon scout probe harassment onto SCVs in PvT. Just always trying to be as annoying as possible with this. So, like you're saying, always aggressive, this guy. He's made a career of it. He always tries to do what he can and then gets right on out before the first unit is there. Does verify that it is a Marine first and not a Reaper. So that's great information to have as herO knows what kind of things that Maru could be coming up with compared to if it was a Reaper opener. And
as the Cybernetics core finishes up here for herO, we're going to see what the choice of tech will be from our Protoss player as Warp Gate, and it's going to be a Stalker or an Adept getting started here. No way, it's going to be a Sentry. Hallucination. Whoa, Twilight Council before any gateway unit.
That's such an adapt because he saw no Reaper.
Or he saw the Marine. He saw there was no Reaper and then a Reactor, and so he knows he doesn't need a gateway unit out fast enough. Oh man, herO, you are optimizing everything so well right now. Obviously, you go for the tech before building a gateway unit. If you don't need anything to parry the Reaper, it's going to be the Twilight Council coming out about as fast as you can possibly get it with an expansion.
That's crazy. I love that. I've never even really thought about doing that, to be honest.
It's kind of brilliant in the simplicity of it.
Yeah, like I've known, of course, it's like, well, you see the Marine, you don't need to chrono the first unit because it doesn't need to be out super fast to deal with the Reaper or anything. So it's like you can use that to get a slightly faster probe count because you can chrono the Nexus. I've never really even considered just skipping the unit entirely just to get the fastest possible blink imaginable. This is really interesting too because it's like if this times out in a certain way, the drop from Maru, if he just tries to go for that, which sometimes is so common, that could be hitting at a time where he's like, no, there's never going to be blink here. And then he just gets blinked on by a bunch of Stalkers. That's always still an option.
In a way, Protoss is sometimes like Zerg with the nature of the gateway and warp gate because you build the gateways and then they're immediately available for production. It's like you're training the units the entire time. And so for herO in this situation, he trains one Adept after starting the Twilight Council, and then he queues up Blink before making the second unit. He goes for a Sentry for hallucination scouting, And he's so greedy behind all of this. He adds in 2 additional gateways. He goes for the shield batteries. He's investing all of his money into things that will be useful in a couple of minutes, but not useful now, because he doesn't need anything to be useful right now. He's going for a super fast third base as well. Now with the hallucination scouting coming in from that sentry, he's able to also see that he should be expecting a drop. It's probably going to be these 6 Marines, and yeah, he just confirms. He doesn't even need to guess. It's 6 Marines and a Widow Mine. And now those 2 gateways coming in the natural expansion, they're going to be online. We can warp in Stalkers back at home. Blink should be at least halfway done. Ah, this is just awesome what we're seeing from herO. Man, has he been chrono boosting this? It's like 75%.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If he just puts another chrono on this, his blink will be done by the time this drop comes in, which is something you are not normally used to as the Terran player. Usually finishes a little bit later. And yeah, this is going to be perfect for him. I mean, it's only a single Widow Mine, so it's not like it's insane that he's going to snipe a full medevac or anything like that if that's possible. But still, this is a cool adaptation that we're kind of bugging out over from here. We don't see it all the time, so it's quite fun. And you can see he's even drawing him in. Look at that. Boom. Sniped out of the air. Love it.
Maru's just like, what the hell? How do you already have blink? It's just so unfair, sick. Man. Oh, what a cool adaptation coming in from herO. It's why these two are so much fun, and it's also why best of sevens are so much fun, is you just see the players making these tiny little adjustments, these tiny little optimizations versus their opponents. The games just keep getting better. The intrigue, it keeps getting deeper, and already, it's 5 minutes. We have Charge halfway done, and Templar Archives, and a third base here for herO, and he's getting aggressive on Maru's side of the map.
This looks so nice for herO. Blinks right on in. Only a few Marines to do anything, as a couple more try to come on up as well. The rest of the units pretty far out of position, so he's going to be able to deny another tech lab here. Blink right on out, not lose a single Stalker. herO is finding every advantage that he possibly can in this game.
Oh, herO is just firing on all cylinders right now. 4 barracks are in production, but we're just now getting the tech labs on the barracks back at home, and the Liberator also is going to get sniped. Big sigh right there by Maru. It's a frustrating situation right now, and herO recognizes the opportunity. He throws down 2 more forges. He throws down 3 more gateways. It's a big explosion of infrastructure here on the Protoss side of the map, because he knows that he has bought himself an unbelievable amount of time with this advantage.
Dude, herO is just dancing all over Maru in this game. It's like actually insane to see how much greed he's going for behind all this, just understanding the situation as well as he is. You can see Stim is not even close to finishing. There's not going to be a push coming on anytime soon. Storm is going to be finished in this game before Stim is.
Yeah, we're going to have Blink, Charge, and Storm Research before Stim. It's just wild, and behind all of it, too, it's not like herO is sacrificing a lot of aggression. Look at how low HP these Stalkers are. No, it's been perfect. We gotta look at the units lost tab right now, because herO has just been impeccable. He's lost 2 units this entire game to the 21, and 1,800 resources lost. 1 probe and 1 Stalker, and look at how much damage they have gotten done.
That's actually insane. Like, it's so rare to see a perfect game, and we don't see one technically here, but I'm gonna call it a perfect game if this continues this way, because this is just insane efficiency coming out of herO today. And this double medevac drop is really the only thing that can maybe get Maru back in this game. He needs to find something that can catch herO off guard. There's a bit of lapse of vision on the right-hand side, but there's still 2 pylons in the main base that do have pretty decent vision, so he will be able to react in time anyways. But the problem now is, does Maru just die on the front? Because it looks like herO might be posturing to try and just dive him.
Yeah, we don't have a fast warp endpoint here for herO on the front line, but he might just go anyway. He's posturing right in front of this third base. Storm is done. These are very high-energy Templar, and he's going to blink forward, get on top of this bio army. Maru, he stims away, but there's no bunker to fall back to. And even with this sentry, you can force field the ramp. He force fields the ramp. The natural right now is forfeit. Maru's going to try and get some damage done on herO's side of the map. Breaching the natural expansion, and the storms are huge.
That's insane. I can't even believe this. The drop on the other side is going to do everything they can, but a recall. Protoss is here to be able to save the day yet again. Lots of probes still getting killed off, and actually the Stalker's trading out not the best right there either. So that is still actually going to be okay. And the Templar also getting killed off. Wait a second. Maru still finding trades even when it looks like everything is lost.
Gemini, you called it. You said Maru needs something to throw into the works here of herO to get him back in the game, and it was probably going to be that double drop. He killed as many workers as herO did. Unfortunately for herO, or unfortunately for Maru, I should say, herO had a lot more workers to start out with, but Maru going tit for tat in the economic damage. He's able to snipe those High Templar outside of his third base base location. And he gets a lot of those Stalkers too. So it's going to be mostly Zealots and Templar reinforcing right now. We only have 5 Stalkers here on the front line. But herO, does he have just a little bit too much? More storms coming in on just a small squadron of Bio. I think herO's stabilizing, but hey, this push from Maru, it still has a little bit of firepower.
Yeah, there's still some things coming out from the reinforcement. It's still going to be really hard because I think recharge is available there, so he's still going to have some storm. Actually, it's a bit off cooldown, it looks like, so not quite going to have it just yet, but just in a few seconds, he'll have some extra storms. Will allow Maru a little bit of a position behind this mixed gold base here, but it's still going to give herO a decent chance to get a flank set up. The Templar coming in, an attempted focus fire by the tank, unfortunately not able to follow through with the second one, and it looks like herO should be able to send this push away.
Yeah, GG is called as Maru on 2 bases could not stop herO, and we are all tied up now, 2-2. We're only halfway through this series, and it has already been so exciting.
I am loving these games, man. Those storms on the SCVs are a Protoss player's dream, man. It was absolutely incredible. The drop almost even looking like it might have equalized it for Maru for just a second there, but the economic situation that herO was able to accumulate before that was just too much to bear. Reading the game perfectly before that to be able to cut all those little corners to just get that advantage in the first place. herO is playing top tier. Maru almost actually matching him as well in that other game.
Honestly, it was one of the best PvT early games I think I've ever seen against a player of Maru's caliber. And not just tech-wise. We did have Blink, Charge, and Storm done before Stim finished, which in and of itself is completely crazy. But you would think that if herO is doing this, then surely he's not able to get too much damage done. But the opposite is true. He lost 1 Stalker and 1 Probe and was blinking into the main base of Maru. He was taking down Marines. He was taking down infrastructure. It was a crazy early game. And honestly, at 2-2 right now, I have no idea who's going to win these next couple of games. It has been so back and forth, so even between them. They're taking turns making their races look broken. It's kind of ludicrous.
Yeah, it's actually insane. Yeah, Maru wins with an SCV pull after losing Stim and Combat Shield and wins the game. In this game, we get like a 16 SCV Storm drop after an insane blink all-in. It's like, or blink timing. It's like actually crazy. So yeah, everything is looking ridiculous. The YouTube also is ridiculous because it's so awesome. And we love to have you guys supporting us over on YouTube. Be sure to throw down some likes, some comments, show us your love over on YouTube. Help us out in the algorithm.
Yeah, we love you guys. You have been awesome this season, especially driving up that engagement at youtube.com @ReviveSC2. We're trying to get the word out there in the YouTube sphere, and it's honestly hard to break into. I mean, StarCraft YouTube has been established quite well since like 2011, 2012, and now we're 15 years into this game's lifespan with a new tournament, a new format. We're trying to get into this space, and honestly, any engagement you guys can give us, it helps a ton.
Yeah, we're going to be coming back after a break in just a little bit, guys. herO versus Maru in this grand finals does not end here. There's still more to play. Come back in a little bit. I lost my words.
We'll see you soon,
Come
fellas.
back soon. Welcome back, everybody. We are 2-2 in this grand finals between herO and Maru. It has been an absolute banger of a match so far. I'm sure there's some more cinema games to be had. Sturgeon joining me here on the desk for some more of the actual games. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you, man. What a series we're having here so far. I mean, hard to call this one. You know, these guys they're going head-to-head, back and forth. Who've you got?
I literally couldn't even tell you, dude. It's like actually, like State just said before, it's like each player is taking turns making their race look broken. It's like it's so hard to know because we're not streaking any wins together. It's just back and forth, just 1-1-1 each for each player. It's just like, how do you even predict a series like this? It's very difficult. So I still feel like herO overall is looking pretty good, but I feel like Maru, so I think something special is brewing here. I feel like Maru is actually going to send us to a reset. Even though we lost that last game, I feel something in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, indeed. In the lobby chat, herO just said he has to play football, play soccer. I'm so confused what he means by that in terms of StarCraft, but we'll see. Could be something crazy in this game. We will be loading into our next map shortly here, Gemini, which is going to be Magnetic North for game number 5.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Stalker is maybe that's the name of like a code name for his build that he's doing. He's trying to throw out little mind games.
Yeah.
Like, it's like CS teams like code name their strats like random stuff or whatever. Maybe he's doing that here.
Yeah, it's the Christmas strat.
Yeah, maybe
Thanksgiving.
The soccer strat is he's gonna, I don't know,
Disruptors? I don't know.
He's gonna proxy DT and then, or proxy disruptor and then, kick some disruptor balls into his SCV line or something. I don't know.
Yeah, indeed. We will have to see. We see the probe scout coming out, moving across the map now.
Very early.
Yeah, nice and early here. Going to be able to see what Maru is up to, harass some SCVs a little bit, nothing too crazy. On the other end, we have barracks and gas for Maru. And there comes that little buddy SCV to help out his friend as he builds the barracks.
Yeah, interestingly enough as well, herO is making his buildings on the high ground of his natural, which is not something you see every day. It looks like he forgot if Maru was playing Zerg or not for a second, to be honest. Like, that is a PVZ wall that he's setting up right there. But it is, of course, versus Darren. Oh, we're losing the probe as well to the SCV surround. Wow, okay, you don't see that every day either. Look at that. Look at both these players.
Look at
then
Maru.
He brings the laugh at him.
Maru's laughing. He's having fun, man.
It's so funny.
I love that these guys are still enjoying the game, even in grand finals. It's all good fun here. We did see a double gas from Maru as well, going into that Reaper now, getting his orbital, and the Nexus going down for herO.
Yeah, this is interesting that he's going just for this natural wall and even putting this pylon in a weird spot to deny a Reaper jump. Does that actually work?
Wow.
I know I'm
Gemini, you're going to add that to your walling guy, dude.
I know
what
I'm the
is
wall
that?
guy, but I'm going to be honest, I've never seen someone even try that. I've never even thought to test that out. So I can't be the guy to say if that's going to work or not. Sometimes you would say, oh, because herO's doing it, surely it's okay. But we've seen him make some really dumb walls before.
We've seen some questionable walls.
I can't even say that.
It's either genius or terrible. That's all I can say.
Let's see what happens with this. I mean, it's extremely vulnerable. So, is that going to be a proxy starport?
Yeah, that SCV going up to the top side of the map here. Going to be going for something cheeky, perhaps, as the Reaper will see this pylon and actually not go up there. So I guess it works.
Might be. I mean, the Adept did kind of zone it out, so maybe he was a little bit scared. But, I mean, I'm assuming it works because herO's trying it. I imagine he wouldn't just totally do something random there. But it is looking like it's going to be a proxied starport Hellion drop. We used to see this a while ago, years ago. It was very common to throw this into a best of 5, best of 7. Very lethal build. We haven't seen it in a long time. Love that block from herO as well. Really trying to keep this as hidden as possible. But does he know that he's about to be proxy Hellion dropped? It's something that we don't normally see anymore in the meta.
Yeah, I love the variety of builds coming out here saying, hey, I used to use this build and it worked pretty well. These guys have played so much recently, like best of 7 recently, and now they're in another best of 7 on game 5. You got to bring out new stuff, right? You can't just keep doing the same thing. So I love to see this from Maru. Will it get the damage done is the question. herO now going into Blink, adding in Stalkers. These Adepts poking the front, see when they get. You got to be careful though, you might lose them.
Ooh. That's actually been unfortunate. He had them on hold position, so the Hellions actually got a full volley off before they even started to attack. Even being able to micro this one Hellion back all the way. Oh, just barely gets it with the Adept on its dying breath. So at least we'll be able to get one, but that's a lot of Adepts to suicide to kill just a single Hellion and I think maybe a Reaper. Because now we're about to get them dropped into our main base when herO thinks he's got a full wall set up.
Yeah, indeed. And that pylon not going to see the medevac, it doesn't look like. And you could use those Adepts on the defense here as herO. There is a probe just hanging out. It's almost like he knows. And they're actually going to see, he's actually going to see the Hellions with that probe. Good star sense there from herO. Here come the Hellions now. They get to work on this probe line. Already a few going down.
Yeah, you do need to get a lot with this drop, and only 5 so far is actually not insane damage yet from Maru. He's going to try to load back up to get some more for round number 2, but you actually need a good amount of probes with this build. Because you're staying on one base for so long, you're devoting so much of your tech, he's going to go in for another wave. Can he actually get 10 plus probes? Then he's going to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like he will be able to. Nice target firing on that bunch of probes down there. Already 15 going down. This looks like a success from Maru. He will lose the Hellions, but the medevac gets out of there. And the follow-up is Cloak Banshee.
Oh, that's just so brutal. I love that he's committing to this proxy as well. It's going to make it so difficult for herO. He's even sending all of his units straight across the map, knowing that there's going to be a little bit of a weakness point now. Since you used all those units and suicided a lot of them to be able to get that damage, there's going to be a point where Blink Stalkers have control over the natural, perhaps. And there's going to be a tank to be able to defend, but now the Cloak Banshee also coming into the main base will make it very difficult.
Yeah, indeed. And talking about Cloak, we don't have detection yet for herO right now. He's making a robo at the moment. He didn't open Stargo or anything, so he doesn't have an Oracle. This Banshee going to start to go to work on this mineral line, and what is here to defend? Stalkers come over, but with no detection, this is going to be so much damage here.
I love that he waits to cloak it as well for as long as possible, waiting until there's actually units that'll threaten it, so he saves the energy to make it so that way he can stay cloaked for as long as possible. There's not even a battery down here either to help heal the probes. This Banshee is going unchecked this entire time. 10 more probes getting killed off as a second Banshee also joining the fray.
Oh, the damage is going to keep continuing here. I don't think we even have... we do have one observer now, so this probe line will be going back to the natural. Meanwhile, another Banshee in the main. I mean, there's no more workers there, but make sure nothing's mining. Maru is still trying to find angles here to get any more damage that he can. Finally, these Banshees will have to retreat into the airspace. It's going to get a couple more at the third as well. 15 more go down. Maru up 7 workers right now.
I mean, this Banshee looks like it's going to die as it runs out of energy, but damn, did that pay for itself. And the other one is still alive, able to pick away at even more damage because there's still no battery, and the Stalkers are so split up. The Observer also not in every position. You can see Maru even scanning ahead just to guarantee there's nothing ahead, and there's the SCV pull coming as well. Maru knows that he got insane damage done with this build order. He knows that he can follow it up with a third punch to really send herO home.
I love this follow-up from Maru. He's even making one more Banshee here. These guys are glass cannons. They will add so much DPS to this army, and herO doesn't even try and defend.
Oh my god.
It's just too much.
Well, we were just saying that each player's taking turns making the race look broken, and literally it keeps happening. That was just clinical from Maru. There was no point where herO felt like he was in control of that game. The Hellion drop unscouted, the Banshees unaccounted for, the Blink attack on the other side only killing a medevac, and then the Banshees getting an insane amount of damage, and the follow-up push doesn't even make it halfway across the map before herO realizes he's dead.
Yeah, it all started with the Adepts, right? Dying to those Hellions early on. Then he had no vision on the map. He didn't see if he'd seen the Hellions like go up the map, he may have thought, oh, maybe there's a starport up there or something, and checked. But as it is, the Hellions got in, they did their work, and then the Banshee follow-up was absolutely brutal.
Dude, I told you, man, there's something in the air right now. Something is brewing. It feels like Maru is actually going to bring us to this reset. Like something that these games have been so close. The series that happened earlier in the tournament was too close. We deserve it at this point, I feel like. We need to get here, and Maru is doing everything he can to bring us there.
So was that the football build? I'm so confused still about that. But nonetheless,
I hope not.
It was a sick build. That's a good ladder build. You get some wins with that one.
Yeah, maybe.
The proxy starport, very nice stuff there from Maru. And he actually takes the lead in this series now, Gemini.
Yeah, 3-2, one more game, and he completes the best of 7 and sends us over to the reset. herO now fighting to try and end this before it gets there, and he's also sending yet again another very early probe scout. I was just mentioning this earlier on. This actually before the pylon, I think it was. That's a very early probe scout, so it looks like he might just be trying to go for some SCV harass. Like I was mentioning before, he's someone that in the past did like to do this as well, and it looks like he's going to bring it back yet again, just trying to be as annoying as possible against Maru and maybe make him think, well, what is this probe doing here? Is there something... Is herO got something planned, or is it just going to be harassment? Like, what is this?
Yeah, he might also want to know if there's proxies going down or something like that, because we have seen that. I think it was the last time they played in Game 1. Actually, both of them proxy. That was a wild game. But Maru, known to bring out those kind of builds, even when it's all on the line, he is not afraid to bring out a double proxy Rax or something crazy. Yeah. So I like that. I like this early scouting here from herO.
Oh, I get flashbacks to herO or Maru versus Trap in one of those semifinals GSL way back. Game 7, he proxied 2 Raxes after everything, and Trap doesn't scout and loses the whole thing. It was so heartbreaking for me. But
some deep trauma being brought up here.
Maru is not afraid, man. He will do whatever it takes to close out a series, and doesn't look like he's going to be going for the proxy this game, but we can always assume that it'll be coming out later on. For now, it's going to be another double gas opener coming out of Maru, so some more tech play to be had. Don't expect him to be doing another proxy starport. It's something you really only should bring out maybe once in a series. You can't really bet on that being your consistent strategy to win your whole series or anything like that. So likely going to be just some more standard Hellion Reaper with whatever follow-up he chooses next.
Yeah, indeed. It's one of those builds. You catch your opponent off guard with it, but if they know it's coming and they get quick detection and shield batteries in each mineral line, the damage will be heavily reduced by those Banshees. But I love the variety we're seeing here from Maru. Every game is something different, and herO is so tough to play against someone like Maru who has so many different builds.
It's so hard to play against herO as well, who also has just got an insane bag of tricks, and he's also hiding his probe over here. For it looks like just a rescout. So he's just going to be waiting for that Reaper to go across the map and make sure he can get his probe in to know if there's a CC or whatever. Oh, okay, wait a minute. He's pausing again. That still might come into play, but he's also going into a Stargate behind this back at home. So once again, bringing out a Stargate in this PvT. It's, again, not often that you see the Stargate play so consistently. It's almost always that Twilight.
Yeah, indeed. Blink Stalkers are definitely the meta. We see the Stargate at home, the first tech building, so no proxy there for the moment. It is going to be that rescout, as you mentioned. What will he see here? Okay, he confirms the timing on the CC, the reactor on the racks, and the starport going down there. This is all good information for herO.
Yeah, you really want to know if that CC is coming there, because if there is a lack of a CC, it's very... there's a big potential that you could still go for a one-base build. It's not as common, but you can still throw that out as a pro Terran. So love to get that scout as herO. We'll be able to confirm that, and now he can kind of sit back with his Phoenixes to try and do whatever he can against the harassment that's coming. But does he expect it to be another Cloak Banshee?
Yeah, it is in base this game. I like the point you made about the one-base play. We did see that in game one.
Yep.
Maru played a one-base build and was able to pull it off and take the win. So getting that rescout, very good here. The Reaper jumps in, but will fall down to the second Adept in the main there. We have a Cyclone out. Maru doesn't really see anything with that Reaper, so I don't think he even knows his Phoenix is right now. Dude, I thought that was a real probe for a minute. The way it died, it looks like it was still alive.
It's pretty funny. It looks like herO's going to be sending his units across the map to try and be a bit aggressive. We'll see if Maru is prepared for this, because it seems like he's preparing for things in his main base for now, so he's not really going to have stuff at the natural. Looks like actually... herO's thinking twice about this, sending his Phoenix back home as the Banshee will start to make its long route around the map to go into the main base. And the interesting thing about this as well is when we're going Stargate in this day and age, it's very rare that it's going to be Phoenix Colossus like it was a lot in the past. So there's not going to be a Robo for Fast Observer with this as well. So it's going to be basically a Panic Oracle to be able to deal with the Cloak Banshee in the main base. So sure, you'll have the Phoenixes, but you still don't have detection because there's no Robo and there's no Oracle.
Yeah, indeed. Those four Adepts, a little bit scary there. Did pick off a few workers. We'll go home now. But the issue for herO, as you said, is detection for these Banshees. Still no Oracle being fired up. There is a shield battery on the way. I'm not sure if that's in the main or the natural. If it's in the natural, okay, it is in the main. But he's actually making two now. Not sure where the other one is. But these Banshees starting to go to work on the mineral line. herO pulls. Not an instant pull, but still pretty fast. Okay, actually picking off something there.
I think that was a Banshee as well. That looks like the scraps of a Banshee right there. So it's actually a great pick-off, and it was.
Yeah. You know your scraps, Gemini.
I do, yes. I noticed that little rotator blade on the ground. Nice. But yeah, unfortunately, Maru not paying attention, doesn't cloak it in time. That's actually a bit unfortunate because you literally shouldn't lose that right now. There's no detection, so that's one extra unit down for Maru as he was trying to go for a push down the middle of the map, and it looks like he's going to still go for it anyways as he's bringing the SCVs along with it. He thinks that he's got a timing to once again punish herO in this early game.
Yeah, this is a Marine tank Banshee push with the SCVs as backup. There's quite a lot of Phoenix here already. Getting that Banshee already is huge. Ideally, you want the Marines to zone out the Phoenixes so your Banshees can start to go to work. So many Adepts here from herO right now.
Yeah, I kind of like what he's going for since he knows that it's basically going to be a Marine most army. He's using the Adept's extra bonus versus light to try and shade on top of the units to get a massive burst damage fight, to swing it really fast and then use the Phoenixes to lift up the tanks and other things to be able to end this game. I'm not sure if he's going to go in quite yet. Actually, it looks like he is. So he's going to just dive right on top of where the bunkers can go down, lifting up those tanks and the Cyclones. The Adepts trying their best to kill off the Marines as there's no upgrades on them, and it looks like he's actually holding.
Yeah, the bunkers not able to finish in time here. That tank will go down, and with that, the rest of the Terran army, the Phoenix standing strong, a Viking comes along, but it's just not enough anti-air here for Maru. A few more Marines trickling in, actually, and the bunkers do finish. If the Marines can get inside them, they might be able to do some work here, but a lot of this army's been thinned out for Maru. Even the probes being pulled to deal with these bunkers.
This is really weird, yeah, because he just lost a lot of the ground units, and there's only Phoenix, and you cannot kill the Marines in the bunkers with the Phoenix, so the The probes need to be used on this defense now. But eventually they will actually burst through this. You really, when do you see this? We are seeing a lot of StarCraft firsts, I feel like, in these series lately. Pretty wonky games overall, but herO standing strong after that defense. His Phoenix count is massive right now. He's got so many of them. Is able to go for the counterattack as well. Will be able to lift up some of these units, but a couple Cyclones at least will force them away for now. Waiting for those extra Adepts to join on in. And now he might be trying to finish Maru off.
Yeah, so many Phoenixes here paired with the Adepts will take out everything. Behind this hero is a third base. He has a Twilight and a Forge on the way. He's prepared to play a macro game, but I don't even think he'll need to. I think he may be able to end this pretty soon. Maru down to 22 SCVs to the 55 probes of herO here.
Yeah, this is
another Cyclone going down.
Oof, this is looking rough for Maru, man. I mean, literally every unit that spawns are just getting lifted up or killed by an Oracle Beam as well. The SCVs left with the natural, getting killed off. The singular Cloak Banshee will, I guess, get some sort of consolation prize of some probe damage, but a recall will not allow that to happen. herO evens this up. We need a Game 7.
I need it, man. I need that Game 7. Come on.
Well, it's here. We have it.
Bring it 3-3. It's 3-3.
It is 3-3. We will be going there. Now, the question, of course, will Maru actually clinch it to send us off into the reset?
Man.
I mean, this could not be any closer. This series is absolutely delivering. I wouldn't have asked for anything else.
Maru will be checking his build in his notebook, his builds in his notebook right now, trying to find the perfect one to finish off this set so we can move on to the reset, best of 3, and hopefully try to take this down. herO, on the other hand, he's just trying to deal with whatever Maru throws at him, and he just needs one more game to, you know, be crowned the Season 3 champion here.
Yeah, it's going to be great. There's also some tickets online for sale for the offline finals happening next month over at the Big Place in Seoul. We would love for you guys to join us. We're going to be there live with the players, with us casting, with you watching as well in the audience. It's going to be incredible. I am super excited to see what we've got cooked up for this offline finals. And so yeah, there's 2 different types of tickets, the regular and the premium. Go ahead to tastelessthreads.com to pick up yours and join us at the Big Place. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, I'm gonna steal it from you. I get to. No, you want to do it? You can throw it. Go ahead.
Do what?
You want to throw it to the break?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's less than a month away now.
Oh, okay.
It's starting to feel real all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been talking about this event for so long, but it's actually just around the corner now. I'm starting to get a bit tingly. You know what I mean? Starting to feel
the
it.
nerd chills coming on.
Yeah, the nerd chills.
Artosis is going to be there. It's pretty sick. He's going to be there.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Anyways, we had to go to a quick break before our Game 7 here in this best of 7. Don't go anywhere. More StarCraft coming up.
Hello, everybody. We're back, and we're going to go into the final game here in this best of 7. Now, we want to make something really clear going forward here. herO came from the winner's bracket, and in this tournament, you have like 1 extra life, basically. Since Maru went down into the loser's bracket, if he wins, we go to a best of 3.
Yes.
There's a reset, and there's like another match. If herO wins, it's over, and he's the RSL Season 3 champion.
Yeah, match point for herO here. Maru needs one more, like you said, to have another chance to win.
Yeah.
But that is the benefit you get of staying in the winner's bracket, not being knocked down. You need to have some kind of advantage for that. So that's why that's set up the way it is. But yeah, man, we are here in game number 7, Tasteless. Woo!
Oh. I'm so excited.
Cannot wait. And what a map to end this on here.
I know. We're going to be on Mothership. I love this map. I love what they did with both, making it a cool, interesting map strategically, but then doing something aesthetically cool as well. Let's see what happens, man. It is just as close as it was when they fought each other yesterday. Now, last time these guys faced off, it was actually herO that won at the very end.
Yep.
herO's the guy that knocked Maru into the loser's bracket. And it's been neck and neck so far. It seems like these guys are a very, very even match for each other. We are ready now to go into Game 7 here and decide, does herO become the RSL Season 3 champion, or does Maru win and then cause a reset, which will bring us into a best of 3? In the top right is Maru, in the top left is herO.
Indeed, Texas, and we are on Mothership, which means you don't know where your opponent starts. And oh my god, herO's throwing down a pylon in the middle of the map right now, Tasteless.
This is, it's funny because you were just saying it's a 3-player map. You don't know where your opponent is.
Right.
And then I was going to go, yeah, which means you can't do proxies. And then he comes and does this, and I go, never mind. I guess on this map you actually can do this.
herO breaks the rules. They did not apply to him, and he's going to scout the right direction, first of all. Oh, that is very fortunate for him.
You know, I guess the truth is, if it on a map like this, you can just make your gates in the center. You know what I mean? Like it's an old 4-player map. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's always, it's still going to get there faster no matter what. So this is interesting. So he immediately finds this. Even slowing the SCV down for a second, if you can get him to swap SCVs, is huge.
Yeah, indeed. You need your units as fast as possible to deal with this early gateway in the middle of the map from herO. We will be seeing the first unit coming out shortly. And as Maru, I mean, do you expect something crazy like this in Game 7? I mean, it's herO. Anything is possible. The unexpected is the expected. We see the core going down as well, and a Zealot will be rallied and chronoed across the map here.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Zealots in StarCraft II, you almost never see them really used at the start of a game because they're so weak until they have charge, right? So it's like a tier 1 early game unit, but a lot of times it doesn't have that much utility. But this time we're going to have a Zealot inbound right away. And it's going to be backed up with a Stalker after that. But there's a Reaper coming out. Now, he doesn't... Okay, excuse me. It's not going to be inbound right away. It's actually going to be 2 Zealots that are going to be pocketed and then jettisoned out a little bit later on. So we got to see where the Reaper goes. Now, the Zealot is so much slower than the Reaper. The Reaper could end up coming out and killing a lot of probes if he finds the right spot. At the same time, you know, when the Stalker's out, the Stalker just beats the Reaper. The Reaper can't fight it head-to-head no matter what. So this is going to be an interesting early game. Let's not forget, last time these guys fought, it was in a moment...
he sees it!
Oh, he
saw it! That's an absolutely huge scout by the Reaper. He knows it's coming now. Immediately throws down a bunker. He needs that depot to finish so he can repair it from the other side. But here come the Zealots.
Okay, and they're going to start to hit this depot.
And the depots are finished, so how do you get anything done? I think you need to wait for the Stalker to join up here because Zealots alone will not do this.
And he does start a Nexus back at home. He is going to snipe the SCVs making the bunker. I love that. You know, well, excuse me, I guess he's actually going to end up getting the ones that are hitting the depot. I thought for sure he was going to go for the bunker here, but I guess it kind of makes sense. And only one SCV, that's not going to be enough. He gets the depot down.
Oh, huge pick off there. The depot goes down. He doesn't want to dive through. He doesn't want to lose everything, but already losing a depot this early in the game, that's 100 minerals. It's expensive at this point.
It's not going to supply block him. The depot is really here more for a wall than just, you know, to kind of steadily give him extra supply. So he can still produce units. But, you know, a couple things to note. One, Protoss is about to finish a Nexus on their, I was going to say on the low ground, like I could float, like they could float it over there or something. Protoss is going to have a second base.
You're going to give me nightmares floating Nexuses.
And then we get Terrans with shields. It's going to be completely messed up.
God.
He's coming up here. He's hitting this other depot. And obviously the Stalkers can tank a couple of shots here before they're going to lose any hull. But with the Cyclone out here and the rest of these infantry units, he's going to chase us away. So the Protoss is already mining from the new base and getting Blink.
Yeah, once he has Blink, his potential to be aggressive will skyrocket. He can jump on the Cyclone if it's out of position, maybe even jump in the main base here. We do see a starport going down as well for Maru, frantically trying to get his tanks out so he can secure his low ground, which he hasn't even landed his TC yet.
Okay, so he is going to come in here and take a look at exactly where the game is. So you see the second base is up. That's going to be a little alarming as the Terran. You really need to try to figure out how to try to play catch-up here. When the first tank is out, it should be a little bit more doable to try to anchor a position and defend this, but you got to watch out for that Stalker Blink, because when you only have one tank, a lot of times the Stalkers can just leap onto the tank, kill it off, and then kind of go wherever they want. And if you don't have enough tanks when there's a lot of Stalkers out, then the Stalkers kind of run amok in the Terran's base, and the Terran loses all these workers and everything else, and it can cause the whole game to fall apart.
Yeah, Maru's going to go for a Liberator here, try to do some counter-harassment of his own. One thing going for him is that if he pushes down the right path, he might be able to find that gateway and pylon and kill that on his way to the Protoss base if he so chooses. They are exposed out there. He might not choose that pathway, we don't know. He could go around the other way. This Reaper now is scouting around. He has actually found it, so he'll know that he can take that out if he does want to. And the Robo is going to come in here for herO as well.
Okay, so the Liberator is going to move out on the map and try to kill some workers. Meanwhile, we have a small amount of Stalkers moving up over here. Once they get vision of the high ground with the Observer, they can blink in or out if they want. Although I don't know if this game sets up that well for Blink Harass, just kind of looking at where everything's gone. herO's really on top of everything.
Yeah.
He's just completely prepared for any, basically anything that Maru's going to throw his way.
Yeah, I really like herO's position here. He's playing so smart with his Stalker positioning, almost expecting the Liberator to come with those in the main base ready for it. And the Liberator can't get past them, right? There's not enough, because of those kind of air blockers, you can't get round past those Stalkers. So the Liberator kind of useless right now.
Yeah, he's really not getting any value out of that. This is a powered up 2-basing Terran. I don't see a command center made unless I missed it somewhere. And that basically means he's going to have to attack unless he does take like a very late third. And that could end up being pretty doable. I mean, the Protoss' Nexus has just started, and the Reaper's going to scout it. So I think if Maru can set up for a push where he wins the game, everything is kind of falling into place for that.
Yeah, indeed. We've seen these tank pushes from Maru on this map before. I think he played it against Max Pax, and he looked super strong, won him the game. Looks like he's going for a similar thing here, going to group up, bring the second tank down as well as that Cyclone, bunch of Marines. The Starport right now just getting an add-on finish in. But herO sees everything with these Stalkers.
Yeah, he runs up there, just snipes the SCVs. I think we're moments away from this push starting here. I think he basically just needs Stim to finish, and then Combat Shield should finish like when he gets there, basically. That's actually a pretty nice snipe, too, to take the Observer out, and he's basically gearing up, ready to go. Can this push win the game? Will Maru bring us to another best of 3 here with a bracket reset, or is herO going to close this out and become the Season 3 champion of the RSL? We're moments away from finding out.
It's all on the line right now. herO has Storm in production as Maru moves out. If that's able to finish in time, that would be a huge boon for him. Charge just finishes up. He's making Immortals as quickly as he can. Those will be key in taking down these tanks. We see our High Templar on the field already. He's forcing him to siege, slowing this push down as much as he can here.
Okay, he's buying time. It's a very delicate situation when you have the Stalkers here. You can't let them take too much damage, or they end up falling apart when the push finally actually hits the target. He's going to go ahead and clear the gateway out. In some ways, you got to be grateful the gateway's even here now to kind of just buy time from the A moving across the map. Storm is almost done. That gateway might have bought those necessary seconds to hold this.
Yeah, Storm will finish, and here comes Maru. Sieges up the 3 tanks. herO blinks down. Storm goes down on the bio. Ooh. herO's taking a bit of a strange engagement here. Loses a lot and isn't able to clear out the tanks.
He ran from the tank thinking it was dead and then had to turn around. The Zealots get fished into the fight, and they have to run and try to reset their charge. There's more Templars available now. Keep in mind, everything is red or yellow right now for Terran, so 1 or 2 good storms could melt this.
Yeah, Maru's stimming so much right now. Here comes a High Templar, big storm on these Marauders. They do fall back. They didn't stim. The Medevac's almost out of energy here. Just have a little bit left. More Immortals and High Templar coming in. Even an Archon being morphed right now. This is so scary. It's all on the line right now.
Yeah, he's going to try to inch in here. The Zealots are going to spill down onto the Marines here. It looks like they managed to get on top of the tanks. The infantry is getting in the way. The Immortals are not targeting the tank. They turn and they finally take it out. He's going to try to kite this back here. And I just don't know if there's any juice left in these medevacs.
Yeah, they're all out of energy, but here comes 2 more as long as another wave of bio. He gets onto the 3rd base, doesn't want to kill it. He knows that won't be enough to end the game, and even if I don't even know if he could get it, decides to back off with these medevacs and regroup.
I'm so worried that the wind is out of the sails now here as far as the push goes for Maru. Another beautiful storm. The army for Terran is so squishy. The heals, there's just so little remaining. He's actually setting up a gateway launching pad for counterattacks here. Where he could maybe, I guess he doesn't have a Dark Shrine, but, he could send Zealots in there or something like that. I was going to say DTs, but he can't get that yet. Maru, he hasn't stopped any of the bases. He hasn't really destroyed any important infrastructure. He hasn't really killed any probes. Maybe he will with that drop, but is that even going to be enough?
Yeah, nice micro there. We do see the Liberator still there. Would be a good time to fly it in. Maru did get his own 3rd CC, so he's not completely all in, do or die with this push, but he does need to get something done. Now going into Ghost, this Widowmine still here, burrowing and unburrowing. Finally goes down to those Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, the problem now is that Maru doesn't have those tanks. He can't really do a push. He would have to try to basically burst damage through whatever Protoss has, but the Protoss army is pretty sophisticated. I mean, you got the Stalkers, the Archons, the Zealots, the Immortals. You've got everything that you kind of need. I can't believe that.
That whole position on the high ground there was so sick.
That was crazy looking. So he's going to come up here, and the counter push from Protoss may come into play. He may be able to actually punt the command center back up into the main, and it's going to be a very, very, very hard position for Maru to play from there.
Yeah, and it's actually herO pushing into Maru right now. Some EMPs go down on the Protoss army. They actually got both the High Templar, no storms available on those. He does have one more in the back with energy, so he has a few storms here. Widowmine's frantically borrowing. Liberation zones go down. Here comes the blink onto the Terran army. herO pushing. The SCVs are pulled, Tasteless.
Yeah, the SCVs come out and they eat a big fat Psy Storm. The kiting from Protoss is looking pretty good, but actually maybe there's enough infantry underneath these medevacs. He's going to try to dive in here. I just see 3 Immortals and a Archon. I don't even know if it's going to be able to finish in time here.
Yeah, Maru actually able to hold this push somehow. He does lose a bunch of SCVs, but actually the worker count is surprisingly even. And when you take into consideration mules, Maru's economy is not too bad. Those Zealots running into the third, though, are a problem.
Yeah, the third base for Terran is being hit right now, and that's going to interrupt a lot of mining. The Liberator doing some damage up here as well.
Yeah, that Liberator from the early game, we said it was useless, stuck by the Stalkers. Finally, Maru now puts it to use at the right time, getting some critical eco damage. And here he comes, pushing the third base off Protoss. Where is herO's army right now?
I mean, it's nowhere to be found. This is going to be a lot of worker kills here. He might even be able to get the Nexus if herO is not fast enough.
Okay, doesn't end up going for it. Will boost out of there with everything in these medevacs. Oh, it would be so nice for Maru if he could finally find this proxy gate. These Zealots being such a thorn in his side, being rallied into that third base repeatedly. But Maru has a worker lead now. He has an army lead. He's starting to look in control in this game, and we know how unstoppable he is in the late game.
Yeah, I mean, the attack is coming out. He kind of catches the medevacs here. He's going to, like you were mentioning earlier, Sturgeon, he's going to see that, in fact, there is a gateway here, and so that's going to explain where those Zealots are coming from. That's going to be their origin point. Now, maybe this attack will work. I feel like the numbers don't quite add up for the Protoss here, but let's see. I mean, with good Psy Storms, the math gets a lot more fuzzy.
Yeah, herO hasn't made a probe in a long time. I think he doesn't want to drag this game out anymore. The EMPs are absolutely huge. The SCVs are pulled to make a meat shield. Maru's army is absolutely massive right now.
Yeah, I mean, he EMP'd every single Templar back there, and that was really the only way he was going to win that fight. He takes the Archon out. I think that Maru is going to close this game out here.
He's doing it, guys. He's looking in prime position to take game number 7 and reset the bracket. Maru takes it 4-3. What a series here, Tasteless.
That was insane. It looked like that initial push with the tanks. When it didn't work, I thought, okay, well, this is probably over, right?
Right.
Somewhere in there, herO, I guess he overextended. I guess he miscalculated what kind of fight he can take. And, you know, Maru is just so good at kiting. He's so good at kind of his army shifting what formation they're in, where suddenly, like, the Zealots don't really get to their targets. The Archons are too far back. Yeah, the Immortals as well are not connecting with their targets, and he ends up winning the fight. So, to be clear, for those of you who might be confused, we now have a bracket reset. We're now going to go to a best of 3, and that's because Maru came from the losers bracket, whereas herO had a flawless run in the winners.
Yeah, indeed. So these guys have to go at it one more time here.
Yes.
They've had 2 best of 7s in this bracket alone. Now they have to play once more in a best of 3, and now this is it. It's down to the wire. We will finally be crowning the champion here soon.
This is so hype. We're going to be... Oh, wait, we're not going to a break just yet. Guys, get a ticket. If you go to tastelessreds.com, you can buy a ticket for our offline event. One of the 2 players tonight is going to qualify for that offline event. It's $30 for a regular ticket. If you want a premium baller Giga Chad VIP ticket, it's $150. We hope you come down. It's going to be the players, the casters, obviously the fans as well. They're in person. You don't want to miss it, and we have a limited number. So you want to get one before they are sold out. We're going to take a short break. When we return, we're going to go to the actual finals of the finals. The best of 3 here to see who's going to become the RSL Season 3 champion. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. This is it. We're going into this best of 3. Maru won the best of 7. That causes the bracket reset. And it's all going to come down to the next 2 to 3 games here.
Yeah, this series has just been absolute cinema, man. I mean, everything going back and forth. Maru bringing it back in the final game as well. After a proxy gate in the middle of the map and just all the incredible chaos that happened afterwards. This is one of the best finals we've seen lately. It's just so fun to watch.
It's been so good. I mean, these guys just make really crazy, very different games each time they play each other. They've got such a different approach. And it's been so cool to see them duking it out. We're going to go back to
We're just
Mothership.
going to run it back.
We just did this. All right, so we're going to run it back on Mothership again. Tokamak for map number 3 and Magnetic North, if we are so fortunate as to get a Game 3 here.
Oh my god, dude. I just cannot wait to get into this. Going right back to Mothership where it just went all down is just absolutely ridiculous. Well, what if herO does? What if Maru proxies this time in the middle?
Oh, I would love that. I would love to see. I don't think, he hasn't done that much proxying lately.
Best time to bring it out.
Yeah, that's the time to break the glass open and get the emergency proxy builds out. We are ready now to go into game number 1 after the bracket reset. The best of 3 will conclude who is the champion of the RSL Season 3.
Oh my god, I'm so hyped. I cannot even think what kind of builds you should even bring out in some of these games. I mean, you're just playing so much. They already had a best of 7 earlier on in the bracket. They just did a full best of 7. Now we get 3 more potentially games to go as well. Just the things you have to reach into now, the bag of tricks just must be so large.
Well, here's a crazy thought. I'll just say it plainly. In the last 2 days, these guys have played 14 games together.
That's crazy.
That's so many games, and their score is 7-7.
That's insane.
So I mean, normally, when you face off against somebody, you're like, okay, well, I think I'll use this build in game 2, or I'll do this build in game 1, and then I'll do something that looks like that build in game 2 to kind of psych them out. Maybe on this map, I'll hide a base. These guys have played so many games now. I mean, how much more can they possibly offer?
The layers upon layers of mind games and trickery that has to happen is just insane. Like what you're saying, it's like that's where my mental games end. Like that's the extent to where I could possibly do something. And it's like these guys have to think on such an insane extra level to be able to come out on top in some of these ridiculously long series.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild. And so we're already into a very, very different looking game. It was Gateway into Nexus into Cybernetics Core.
Yeah, so it looks like both players are just going to try to keep it really simple for this first game of the bracket reset. They don't want to do anything insane, no proxies on the map or anything. They're both just going to play it super standard, super passive. And that's really interesting because they've been really in this game, in this series so far, they've been throwing out a lot of interesting things really early on in some of these series, in some of these games. And so the fact that it resets and they're instantly just playing as passive as possible is a really interesting mindset to look at.
We're probably going to gear up for a macro game here, unless a herO occasionally does kind of crazy techs that I think a lot of the other Protoss players in RSL just don't really do off of 2 or 3 bases. So we'll see if there's going to be any curveballs in there. And then the next thing I'm watching for is Maru going to get a 3rd CC fast? Is he going to power up and try to do a 2-base push? Maru has it's funny. He's had a couple games where he just gets in the Protoss's face and tries to end it right away, but he's also, I think, done an equal number of games where he just kind of macros up and gets too big to fail. And eventually there's nothing the herO can do.
herO, man, you got to look at my wall-off guy. That's not the right way to do it on this map. Unfortunately, the Reaper actually does walk on in, so not expecting that. herO didn't have his stuff in position.
This is so
Luckily,
tilting.
Doesn't actually lose any probes, though. Very nice micro so far from him. And he just barely gets the Reaper as well. Great crisis managed from herO, and he denied the scout of the Twilight as well.
That's actually crazy he didn't see that. I guess the reality is that if you don't scout anything, you're probably still assuming it's Twilight, right?
Yeah. Especially because it was a Sentry Stalker opener as well. Right. It's very rare to go into a Stargate after that.
All the other building blocks line up to you would have that tech anyways. And so here comes the hallucinated, the Phoenix. I did a double take there.
Yeah, the
I'm like, how did he get
vision.
that without a Stargate? He's going to send the hallucinated Phoenix in here, and just kind of see where exactly the Terran's at. There's nothing surprising here so far. This is really a kind of development-oriented game. And we have 2 more gateways coming. Now, we've seen this with herO where he does this kind of very middle-of-the-road build where he does, it's kind of a Goldilocks build, if you will. This porridge is just right. He doesn't get, 2 gateways and then take a 3rd base. This is too cold. And he doesn't get 4 gateways and try to go in there and shoot down the add-ons. This is too hot. So he's going to be pushed. And I'm curious, does 3 gate hold this? Because I've never quite seen this interaction before.
Yeah, so we're going to be going in with just this couple Marines and the Cyclone, a couple more units coming in afterwards as well. Forward battery will allow these Stalkers to heal up for now, but it is just a little bit of a poking pressure here for Maru. Unfortunately, unable to get that sentry. That would have been a nice pick-off if he was able to do so. So that will still allow herO to get some extra scouting information with some follow-up hallucinations. And we also have, I believe it was a double gas at the natural of herO as well. So he might be ramping up into that fast storm play that's been very popular in the last few months.
Okay, so obviously that little push was completely shut down. Basically didn't get anything done. And herO takes an extremely safe third base after the little win in the scuffle in the middle of the map there. He's going for the Templar Archives. And this appears to be the kind of game where Terran is going to be pushing out and trying to basically shut down the Protoss. The Protoss is trying to get all the tools necessary to dismantle this push. So we've got the Templar Archives for Psystorm, Archons too, obviously, and then we also have Zealot Charge. And when you see this setup, you also want to put the Stalkers outside their base like this because you can just sort of slow them down. You can deny scouts. You can chip away at Marines or whatever else, SCVs if they're part of the push as well. You just got to be careful. This is one of these builds where it's really strong, but if you aren't paying attention to those 4 Stalkers, they'll die immediately.
Yeah, you really got to make sure you're keeping nice close attention to them because they will just get jumped on once Stim is finished. And you need to be able to keep them alive so you can force the re-sieges in the middle of the map, really slow the push down so you can get more warpins back at home, maybe set up a flank or a counterattack or something like that. So very vital to keep those alive as herO. As he's going into the storm now, it will be finished in just a few moments here as before the push will be coming, coming basically. So he will have that set up nicely, getting the extra gateways as well. He's really ramping up to make sure he can defend any sort of attack that Maru might be going for, but he is still Maru that is going for a third CC, so he's not going to be going for any sort of all-in this time. He will just be doing a little bit of forward pressure, most likely with the tank push to see what he can get, and then expanding behind it.
Okay, so he is going to unload, maybe for a flank over here. Yeah, gotta be careful there. He's on the move. I love that the tanks are leading, by the way, because you can just repair those later, right? It's a lot of times the Marines that'll get sniped off there. 5 more gateways coming down. Now, one of the challenges I have is a lot of times in games I can kind of look at what they've already got and know who's going to win a fight, but it's so hard to tell with Maru because sometimes he's so good at controlling that it's like he's bending time and space.
Yeah. He is really able to just take some questionable engagements that you really wouldn't think, and then he actually comes out on top. Stims forward to try and catch those Blink Stalkers, but herO, very diligent, is paying attention, blinks them away very nicely as he takes this pretty forward 4th base. I'm kind of surprised that he's actually taking such a forward base. He's going to be really right in the face of Maru if he ever tries to attack.
Yeah, he's going to make the the weak spot right up there. Now, this is not... Terran doesn't have to push just yet because there's a 3rd command center, which I actually hadn't seen earlier. I thought for some reason this was just 2 bases powering up. So Terran can push, but it's not required of the Terran. It's not like the Terran nice side storms there. Beautifully done, and he zaps both of the medevacs.
Yeah, actually pretty good reaction though as well from Maru. He was able to dodge the majority of them, so not the best storm drop there, but he's got 4 more in the War Prism, trying to dive bomb this as he throws some down on the back line. Nice split back from Maru to negate some of that energy, and the rest of the units on the ground for herO are actually evaporating.
I cannot believe he attacked in there. I mean, this is just kind of one of the general rules of the game is that when Terran is sieged up and has Liberators, right? Like, that's not when you attack. You want to wait until they're unsieged and trying to relocate. And I think he can full send this counter push. And we were just talking about this base is so close to the middle of the map. It's kind of weird he would choose to expand there. Kind of a tale of hubris here in this game with herO. He does manage to shut this down. There's just enough Zealots and not enough medevacs to make this work.
Yeah, actually, all the medevacs died, I think, in that engagement. So a bit of an overextension from Maru, not actually calculating the fact that his bio was extremely low after that engage, and he didn't actually have anything to heal it on up. So now, all of a sudden, herO is the one back in the driving seat as he gets a nice warp-in round, kills off all that bio, and now is forcing Maru to turtle on 2 bases yet again with these Liberators.
Is he going to try to attack it again?
He's just containing it,
it's so hard to tell with herO because he's had a couple moments where he just kind of bludgeons the opponent. And I was thinking previously what we had today where he just forced his entire army through like a depot-sized entrance. So he's just going to inch back. Now remember, Maru didn't land his 3rd command center, so this is 4 bases to 2 bases. So that's a pretty pretty egregious difference in income. And I actually don't know that Maru can get out of his base right now.
Yeah, this is really difficult for him. He's really just kind of forced into this little tiny spot. You can see him here even taking a 5th base in a pretty random location as well. He's really just taking the most forward bases possible right now. Might as well just take Maru's 3rd base while he's at it.
Yeah.
Got another forward drop with the Templar. EMP's not in time as they get on top of the Liberators as well to soften those up. And like you said, herO, he's not afraid of these tiny little choke points. He's going to go through anyways, even though it's really not needed at this point. Maru's sitting here on 2 bases, forced to pull SCVs.
Yeah, he's going to pull his workers and try to fight his way out. I just don't know that this is going to work. And if it doesn't work, I think Maru might have to tap out here. The SCVs are sacrificed, but some of the infantry are still alive in the back. Yeah, well, hold on. There's some more units kind of rallying in here. It just seems like he barely does not have enough, and I think now herO's going to come through here and just rip apart everything that Maru's got over here.
Yeah, this was an insane fight. I mean, Maru just constantly sending more and more SCVs into the fray. Even if he was able to hold here, he would be basically in an all-in position against a 71 worker herO, who is now bludgeoning the front door of Maru. Every single unit trying to get picked off here as he warps in more with this forward prism as well. Another Templar, I believe, can throw down some feedback energy as well, as there's just so much coming from herO nonstop. Maru dipping almost below 50 supply. This is looking hopeless for him.
Yeah, this is an execution. GG. A very swarmy end to that game. I mean, herO basically just had so much. It's funny, Maru had this moment where he kind of broke free, and it's not shocking that he went all the way across the map and tried to do counter damage, but I think, now that we see how that game went, he probably should have just stopped there and got a 3rd base.
Yeah.
And tried to actually build up. I can't say I blame him, because we've seen so many moments where, Maru's on the defense the whole time, and then he has one counter punch and just kills the Protoss.
Yeah.
But not that game.
Yeah, you can tell it's maybe some of the, the length of this series is maybe getting to him a little bit. Maybe, it's been playing a lot of games. This is the 8th game or whatever they've played so far in a row. I mean, he didn't really realize it. I honestly didn't even notice either, because all those Liberators were there. I was like, surely he's got medevacs. He can just walk across right now. So, set up the Liberator, so he'll be fine. But there was no healing, and all those bio units were totally red and orange.
You could see Maru rubbing his eyes here.
Yeah.
I guess when you think about it, he's been playing the entire day.
Yeah. That's true. He also he came from a lower bracket as well.
Yeah, he came from the lower bracket and then got all the way up here. So this has got to be exhausting, but that is your fate when you come from the loser's bracket. We're going to go to Tokamak here for game number 2. Either herO closes us out or Maru will tie this up 1-1. So we've got herO here in the bottom left and Maru in the top right. And let's see what they got, man.
Dude, what a marathon of games it's been for Maru today. Coming through the lower bracket, now into this grand finals, making it all the way into the reset. We were talking about how, you have so many bag of tricks that you can go for. There's only so much that you can bring out in a series this long after already playing a best of 7 versus them earlier as well. But it's like the mental strain now starts to kind of show from the players. They're going to start tripping up a little bit, little mistakes here and there. And now we have Maru reaching into the bag into something different. He's going for a proxy barracks, but on his side of the map. He's not going to be trying to do anything insanely aggressive with this. He's trying to mind game herO with this and make him overreact.
So what we have to see first is when does herO scout? So, in StarCraft II, you can hide, you can hide buildings almost anywhere. And so a lot of times, instead of checking everywhere on the map for hidden bases, which is what we're actually seeing herO start to do here, one solution is you just go right to their base, and if you don't see their first couple of buildings, you go, oh, okay, well, somewhere I'm being, there's an ambush about to happen. But he didn't do that. And so this kind of deceptive play, I don't know if it's going to amount to anything other than Maru's really inconvenienced himself with his building positioning to basically try to throw a red herring into this game that herO literally isn't going to know about. If he doesn't check the replay, he might never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of funny.
It's kind of, it's interesting how these mind games work out sometimes, where it literally doesn't even come into a factor. And Maru this time, if he had gone for a much more aggressive proxy, perhaps it actually would have worked out for him, considering the fact that herO has not scouted. I love this, though. He's hiding the
He went to the
SCV.
blind spot.
He's going to put a bunker in the back. We have not seen this for a very long time.
What?
There was a patch that made it so that way it's much more difficult to make this work, but he's actually bringing it out. herO has not seen this. It does not get seen with the Nexus vision. This bunker might finish up before he even realizes it.
This is huge. So he's going to come in here and scout with this, but the next route is to go down onto the low ground and try to set up inside the bunker. And this is going to be a painful surprise here because the bunker's done, and now he can't mine with workers here.
Yeah, and you don't even have a battery started yet. It's very lucky, though, that herO did go for Stalker first, which means he's going to have a little bit extra DPS to kill this off. If he had gone for Adept first, it would have been a total disaster for herO, but it's not like this is the end of the game. It's not like he's going to win with this bunker. What it does is alter the build from herO. He's forced to make an early battery. He's forced to not be able to mine from the natural. That affects the income drastically in this early stage. And if he's also able to get a couple probes with this nice little jump spot. Oh, nice force field, though, to deny them from getting down. Almost kills both of them. One of them is still a nice pickoff and will help to ease this defense for herO.
Yeah, nice usage of force field there. There are not enough SCVs to repair this to the point where you can fully recover. He does have to micro some of the probes away. Oh my god, he's so good. He's control. He's able to just like matrix dodge these lasers.
Oh, did he get another probe there? I think he did, and then he just runs on out. Love that from Maru, but like I said, since he did open for Stalker, it was much better for him. If it was an Adept opener, that would have been much more difficult to actually kill off, because the DPS just really isn't there when you're going for the Adept opener.
Okay, so right now we've got Maru making his tanks, throwing a tech lab into here. We didn't have a third CC, so I don't know if he wants to. I feel like pushing on this map is not that easy, but let's see what he does here. Now, the third Nexus is going to be thrown down immediately. The Reaper comes in here to try to spot for it. I don't think he saw even the probe there. But you would expect when you see the army move there that, he's going to put something down there. There is a Widow Mine drop inbound here. It looks like it's going to be angled towards the main base.
Yeah, we'll see if this can get anything done. They don't normally get insane probe damage like they once did. Protoss players much better at dealing with them. Much easier to know that they're coming as well, since they do notify you. He's going to try to go for the pull again, and he's not going to be in time. Luckily, will be able to pull them back. He's so good at that, being able to consistently pull back the targeted ones and make sure it doesn't get dragged onto the massive amount of probes that are moving over to the other base. So, nice hold by herO. Won't get any damage, but still, Maru keeping both of them alive in the corner will allow him to go back later.
That was insane. It's so high risk to try to kill that with the workers, because if you mistime it, you just basically lose the game.
Or if you just click the wrong probe when you're trying to pull it back, you literally will lose every single probe because it drags over.
So in this game, we're seeing the powering on two bases. It's double racks, factory, starport. He's going to have Banshees with the group. He may use the Banshees to just pair with the push. He may send the Banshees somewhere to try to draw Stalkers away. And there's a lot resting on this push right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally the whole tournament on the line. He's bringing the SCVs with this as well. He's putting all of his bets into this one push. He's going to make a couple SCVs behind it to potentially transition if this goes well enough, but he wants to end the game with this attack. The Banshee getting almost picked off. Nice to micro back. Can repair that up with those SCVs, but forced to siege in the middle of the map. This is slowing Maru down. This is exactly what herO needs to do. Unfortunately, loses a forward Stalker there as well.
Yeah, he dropped some Stalkers. herO's looking pretty weak. Guardian Shield comes down here. Another Stalker's picked off. He's made it all the way to the Nexus. The tanks are going to siege up.
Oh my god, that tank shot is massive on all those Stalkers. The forward blink not working out. The army supply from Maru is massive right now. 40 almost to just 10 of herO. He's trying to punish this fast third base. Widow Mine's also going back in the main base, killing off probes, decimating the economy, making it much more difficult for herO to hold.
Yeah, there's a wall off here. Can he actually get rid of charge before it finishes? That upgrade
would be huge.
Is in that building. It's almost done. More tanks and Marines are going to come down here. He actually cancels it. He unpowers it. Dude, I think we're going to go to Game 3.
Oh my god, this is absolutely ridiculous. There's almost no production for herO right now. There's a gateway in his main base, a couple more being made. Pylons trying to get anything powered at the front here. He's just got a battery and a couple Stalkers forced to pull the probes in this. Maru, can he hold?
I mean, herO's going to try to lash out and take this out. It's a little unclear to me what's underneath these Banshees that are fighting. I think, yeah, there's still Marines there. Yeah, he's still got an army.
Oh my god, the Stalkers, they can't do anything. The Banshees and Marines are dealt with totally fine. The tank also in the back still there. Bunkers in the front. herO is grasping at straws to be able to defend against this. Maru might be making this happen. We might be going the full distance.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. He's going to take the natural expansion out. Oh my god, Maru's so smart. He knows that the only thing that could get him is a counterattack. So he's going to run back. A lot of times when you're trying to stop these pushes, what you do is you take Stalkers like the ones here, and you try to catch the reinforcements and just chip away at them, and then eventually you can kind of surround it and kill it off. But Maru knew that and just went, no, I'm actually not even going to move.
He knows he's got such a game-ending damage. He knows that he can now just go ahead and kill off this third base that he ignored earlier. He can just sit on 2 bases. He didn't send every single SCV with this attack. It was just enough to make it worth it in the actual attack. herO knows it. Maru is sending it to the last game to decide everything.
That was so sick.
Cinema.
This is such a good series.
This is the best finals yet, dude. I can't even believe that we're getting this.
It's so good.
Dude, I said it. I was smelling something in the air. It felt like we had to get here, and here we are. We are in the final game of this finals. We couldn't ask for anything better.
No, I mean, this is like, it's like, you know, WWE where it's like perfectly scripted. The story's just right.
Oh my God.
This is so crazy. So, in that push, he let the Banshee run up, and he tanked all the shots, and then he didn't lose it.
Yeah.
So he sends it back, he repairs it. And, you know, those Stalker shots, when they're trying to just sandbag the push, those few shots are so important. Are we going to a break still? No, we're not. We're going to go right into Game 3. Okay.
All right. No breaks on this train, Tasteless. We are sending it all the way. Magnetic North going to be the last map of the tournament to decide who takes everything. Is it herO? Are we going to have a third Protoss in the offline finals? Or is Maru actually going to make it? He's going to come all the way through the lower bracket and actually make this work.
This is crazy. These games have been so good. They're also different from each other, too.
Yeah, every game is so unique.
Yeah, it is. You know, sometimes you have 2 players play a bunch, and you're like, okay, well, I see how you guys approach the matchup.
Yeah.
And one of you is going to be better, obviously. But these guys keep changing everything up. So here we go, guys. Game 3 has loaded up. This is the last game of the RSL Season 3. The last game online, because the offline match is just around the corner. Let's get into it and find out who is going to be the Season 3 champion. In the top right is Maru. In the bottom left is herO. And real quickly, this was one of the maps that Maru was doing that one-base build on, right?
He did the proxy Hellion drop on this map.
Oh, okay, that's right.
He proxied the starport and did a Hellion drop that did pretty good damage, and then he followed up with a Cloaked Banshee follow-up as well that did just insane damage, and herO just left the game before the attack even made its way, so... Yeah, that was what happened earlier on in this best of 7 on this map. And look again where this SCV is going. He's doing it again. He realized last game that he didn't actually get a benefit from this proxy. He knew that herO did not scout. So he's like, okay, I'm going to do it again. I didn't actually find the value I was looking for. Sure, I got the Reaper in the bunker, but now I can potentially do it again.
Yeah, and by the way...
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
Dude, how can it get this good? This is peak.
So there's a lot to unpack here, and we don't have a lot of time, so let me get into it. Maru is recycling the strategy from Game 2 because it never actually did anything because herO didn't scout him. Some games, they don't scout you.
Yeah.
All right? There's a lot of different ways to play StarCraft. Oh my. Now, he's doing that. In some ways, that's brilliant from Maru. However, this game, herO is proxy gating. And so, you know, when you're getting rushed... You know, because right now Maru's faking a rush. herO's literally rushing.
He's doing it.
And this means that Maru's barracks is in a really odd location. So this is, I would say right now, a very uneven matchup where it's very herO favored.
Yeah, and the SCV is not even going to get this scout very quickly either because he doesn't, go for the actual normal SCV scout. He's going to send a couple more things to the front, of course, to finish up this wall, but he's not even putting the factory in the actual spot. He's going to put an add-on there either, so that's only going to limit the amount of time it takes for these units to get inside. So there's a slight window where herO might be able to walk his Zealot in through there as well before the reactor's on. He might even be able to target the reactor or tech lab, whatever ends up getting built there, so that could become huge as well.
Yeah, now he knows that he's being rushed. He doesn't know how far out the launching pad for the attack is, but he knows it's inbound here. We'll see if he lifts the barracks off. I'm always curious in moments like this how you handle this. He's going to throw a bunker down in his main.
I wonder if he
Smart
thinks
move.
that's going to be. I wonder if he thinks that's like a proxy oracle.
He thinks it's a Stargate because he's checking the left side of the map.
It's very
so he
interesting.
doesn't have a read on this yet.
He's trying to find whatever this is. He's sending
looking
his
for
Reaper.
it.
Okay, he's found the Stalker on the right-hand side, so he should know that the gateway is what is proxied, and it is over on the right. So he kind of has put these pieces together. He's also feeling safe now to throw his command center down in his main base as well, and then use the Cyclone to defend.
So I think Maru lives, but he's going to have a hard time getting a base up. Meanwhile, herO can just expand.
Yeah, they're just going to both play it safe at this point. They're not going to go full all in with any of their proxied buildings. It's just going to be a kind of a reset in this. It's not going to result in some crazy stuff or anything like that. The Reaper will eventually get chased down and killed. Eventually, there we go.
Eventually.
Okay. Thought for a second it might actually sneak past there, but it does get the scout on the follow-up Twilight, which is very important, because normally Twilight is very normal, but in a game like this where there is a proxy gate, you really kind of can't expect what the follow-up might be. It might be another Stargate. It might be a Stargate on the map or something like that. You really can't know after how many games these guys have played against each other recently.
Yeah. So...
Charge first. Oh, I love that.
Okay, so yeah, this is really interesting tech. It's funny how, like, the techs have changed quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Like, charge first was, like, sort of...
A total meme.
Unless it was, it was like a total meme. Yeah, like, check this out. If you don't know how to stop this, you will lose the game, but maybe not the best way to play, but now he's kind of going for that. So, right now, I think what he's going to try to do is basically punish a Terran who's going to try to get on the low ground thinking they're safe. Now, you're not going into this game expecting charge. When you scout the Twilight, you're thinking blink. Okay, now blink and charge are extremely different. And charge, the zealots will overwhelm, whoever's down there. And he's going to take out the tech lab. So this is pretty crazy. Remember, he's going to have to obviously remake that somewhere, but that's going to be less tanks.
Yeah, that's going to really slow down any sort of push that maybe Maru was trying to do. It's also going to make it much more difficult to defend if herO decides to just go full on with this charge upgrade early. He might just try to send it and just make sure that Maru can never take this natural. Initially, what the charge looks like is it's going to be something that can easily defend and make it so that way if Maru was going to go for a follow-up tank push, it's much easier to defend the actual attack with charge instead of blink. But this time, maybe he actually just tries to go super crazy with it. He is going to take a third base, so maybe realizing that it wouldn't be the best play, doesn't want to go super aggressive, still will take it a bit passive.
Yeah. So he's not going to try to take a fight over here. He's going to take his time. Maybe the charge is more for if a push comes out or something. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a later third base, which is fine because Terran just got their second base up. And we're going to get that Robotech out here. Observer first.
I really wonder what he's going to follow it up with his splash damage here, that is, because the build order and just like the way all the timings work out are going to be a bit delayed. He hasn't quite gotten 4 gases just yet, so going straight into Templar would be probably a bit difficult overall. Maru looks like he will actually finally scout this gateway over on the right. So it feels like, it looks like herO will be going into the Colossus is what I was about to say. So
hold up, is he moving out to attack here?
herO?
herO has had,
wow.
Yeah, it's funny. herO, the way he's played, occasionally he attacks that, like, in moments that break all the rules. And maybe he's onto something with that. Okay, this is going to be right when Terran moves out.
Look how scared Maru is, man. He has no idea where this army's going to be.
Okay, he's going to unsiege and go for it. He's going to scan. He gets the obs, and he's like, I'm going back up here.
Dude, no way. herO just sends it. Okay, falls back.
That?
Massive tank shot as well. Oh my god.
Bleeding off a lot of hit points and shields. I almost just stopped casting. I was like, no way are you going to do that.
It's so unnecessary. It's like you can just wait for him to walk out. He's going to try to go for a couple tanks again, bleeding off units a little bit here and there. herO really wanting to just meet Maru on the map no matter where he is. He's just trying to just get him stalled at any point. The Banshee randomly coming over on the left-hand side as well, but luckily a battery made in preparation and a nice response from herO to move those over so he doesn't lose anything.
So he's got 4 gates about to finish. So he's packing a punch here, man.
Oh my god.
Maru's going all in. He's pulled his workers. He's going to use these workers to tank all the shots in the front. Repair as well.
I think herO saw it with the hallucination as well. He made an extra sentry, which will be used for some force fields and some guardian shield to defend this push. Maru once again putting everything on the line to make this push work.
Yeah, now he's just trying to force sieges, and it did work. He forced the tanks to siege up. Wait,
Does he fake this?
No, this can't be real.
Oh my god.
He's going to send him back?
That's insane. Stim isn't done yet. He can't actually do anything. Luckily for
Oh.
herO, he was setting up a flank with a couple of zealots, so he actually gets the scout that this was being a fake by Maru. And look at him now. Maru's like, do I actually commit?
Guys, do I
Is there an
fake out
army
the
here?
fake? Yeah.
Oh my god, the mind games in this game is ridiculous.
So wait a minute. What, did he forget Stim?
I don't think he did. I think I'm actually not sure. I can't tell you.
This is okay. Something is really off about this because none of this movement makes sense from Maru.
I feel like he actually pulled them to fake herO out. I think he was trying to make him overreact, and then he just walks back home and macros out. It really felt like he was trying to do that.
This is such an odd game. Okay, what does he do? Is he going to commit? He's moving out. Oh, the boys are pulled again.
Oh my
He sent those
God.
SCVs back. They didn't even mind minerals.
What a ridiculous game this is. herO is going to try to meet him on the map. This choke point is so tiny. He's using force fields to try and limit this unit's count before it can actually get across. I love this positioning from herO on this map.
All herO has to do is stop this attack, and he's in the finals.
His army is huge.
His army is so massive. The Immortals are getting stuck in the front. This can be a problem here. If you drop those are kind of like the most important things you have at points in time in here. He's going to come in. There's so many zealots. The Marines are stutter step microing back.
Oh
the
my
tanks
God.
are still. There's 2 tanks remaining. Oh.
Maru, he's cleaned out the zealots on the front line. The tanks trying to get with those Immortals as well, trying to kill those off. The Archon getting killed off. There's no splash damage except for the Archons. He did not have time to get Colossus or Templar. He's trying to bust this before any reinforcements can come, and I think he's got it. 2 more tanks getting killed off, but the bio continues to be the ones that are killing, and more SCVs coming across as well. This is not going to stop for Maru.
He's going to try to send these, but I don't know, man. It feels like there's almost as many Stalkers as there are Marines here. The Immortals are eating some shots. You know, at some point in time, you can actually lose these Immortals because you're not fighting against, tanks or anything else like that. The SCVs come down. Dude, I think herO's held it.
Oh my
no,
God.
he's pulling his probes.
Probes, SCVs, it doesn't matter. Everything getting pulled to the front line. herO realizes that he's got this in his grasp. Feedbacks were also gone down onto the medevacs to deny any more healing because that's what's so important at this point. The bio is so weak as the bio is trying to just kill any last unit, but he's forced to pick up and run away. Maru trying to recoup in the middle of the map.
He's going to set up a tank here in the middle. But, I don't know. Can he get those Immortals over there? He's going to target the tank down. The tank is going to fall. There's like only 4. There's 5 Marines here. And there's just enough. I think he's lost the game. It's 19 workers for Maru. He sacked everything else that he had worker-wise. herO's sitting on 47. And keep in mind, he lost a bunch of probes in that fight. So herO is gargantuan here. He is devouring resources on the map compared to Maru, who has basically gone back to the Stone Age here. As far as income, I mean, he's just not making money. He's going to shift gears from pushing, and he's going to try to do some drop, but I don't know, man. I kind of feel like the writing's on the wall here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure Maru quite realizes the economic situation he's in. Yes, he did suicide plenty of workers, but he also I think he might feel like he killed a lot of probes in the initial attack as well. I think part of it also is he just doesn't want to leave. I think he wants to try and see this out to the very end. Of course, this has been a very long series. He wants to see if there's any chance that he can bring this back as he runs over into this extra base to try and kill any probes, but a great reaction from herO, all prepared. Feedbacks to the medevacs as well, making sure they continue to be unable to heal since every single unit that Maru has at this point is so valuable.
Okay. He doesn't manage to get anything done with that drop, but he's gonna reorganize in the middle of the map. Well, he wants to, but he's actually, oh my God, he's going to get the next tank.
Yeah, this is looking not great. I mean, another SCV pull. This is number 3 at this point as Maru realizes there's nothing left for him in this game. Units falling left and right. I think herO's done it.
I think he's done it. He's going to push it all the way back home, and then he's going to be able to kill him there. GG, herO is your Season 3 champion.
What an insane series. I can't even believe that we got
and the
that
crowd
many
goes wild.
games. Oh my God.
Another Protoss. That's all we ever wanted was 3 Protosses in the Final 4 for the offline finals.
What a game, man. What a series. What a way to end it. Just non-stop SCV and pro pulls left and right. How do you ask for better StarCraft?
The games were really good.
That was...
And I got to say, props to herO. He played it really well. It's funny. There's these times he seems to kind of break all the rules for the matchup. There's times where he attacks in where I'm like, that's literally, I think, the worst time to attack, and he'll make it work. He did a great job holding the pushes off. Maru, when he pulled those SCVs, it was all going to come down to whether or not he could buy time. herO forced siege mode a couple times before the tanks were near the Nexus, and that's sometimes all it takes.
Yeah, I love that he recognized that map, which is, again, a bit of an unorthodox map. We don't see it as often. He realized that the middle point had a very small choke point with some of those walls there, so he jumped on that opportunity to get some force fields, deny the push from going any further, and that bought him crucial seconds to actually be able to get enough to defend.
It was a great finals. I mean, it could not have been closer.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love the system we have. We didn't have this for season 1, actually. Mm-hmm. We were like so busy like building the studio and like getting the graphics made. When we actually did the tournament, we're like, oh, that is kind of unfair that the guy from the losers bracket is, or the winner. Sorry, the loser isn't penalized, but the winner is, even if they have a perfect run. So I feel like this is a great way to do it because we get a best of 7. But then, okay, like let's say Maru wins. Well, then let's just do one best of 3, a little short, super intense one.
Something,
a little
for the
something,
fans.
yeah. So great, great season, great casting, everybody.
Congratulations to herO, man. Congratulations to us for being so.
Yeah,
cool.
we're great too. Everybody's great. So do we have any graphics we're gonna show? Oh, right there.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody, here are the LCQ confirmed players. Maru, Cure, Rainer, Trigger Bunny, Shin Creator, Solar Gerald, Jummy, Nightmare, SOS, Percival.
Yeah.
In case you thought I couldn't read all those words, I can. Guys, that is going to be just insane.
And we also will be opening up the signups once more again. So we have 3 more spots that are up for grabs. We have a top 16, basically, or a round of 16 that are going to be coming out for this bracket, as we need 3 more spots basically to fill this out. So if you missed the first sign up, we're going to be opening this up again. So any pro player that did not quite get that will be able to join on in yet again.
And just I want to be clear here. You have to have played in an RSL qualifier.
Yes.
Because we have a couple of people that just like sign up. It's like some guy in Twitch chat's like, I'll play there. I'm like, I wish you could. But you got to play on our qualifiers if you're going to be there. But this is an insane lineup.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to this. I mean, sure, there's going to be a lot of Protoss in the top 4 on the second day, but plenty more players to be coming on in. And we got Bunny, we got Shin. We're going to have Maru there. We're going to have Cure, Rainer. I mean, so many great players.
What are we talking about? We know SOS is going to win. We're going to get 4 Protosses in the final 4 like we wanted. This event, it's going to be our offline event. We're going to basically, starting tomorrow, begin to kind of really iron out everything we're doing for this offline event. It's 2 days, and tickets are for sale. You go to my merch website, my merch shop. It's tastelessthreads.com. Those are the first 2 items that show up there. Stay on this grab it for a second. I want to make sure that everybody understands this. You will not be mailed a physical ticket. I've had some people ask me this. That ticket looks really cool, but it doesn't actually exist. What'll happen is you'll put in your name, and we'll get that at the front door. Some people didn't do that. We can get your email. Mm-hmm. You can buy for groups. Maybe a
+1.
Get your date a +1. Ooh. What about a romantic 2 days at the StarCraft II tournament?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. If you don't hit it off the first day, you go, well, maybe in the round of 4 we'll hit it off. There's always a second chance here. We've got regular tickets and we've got premium tickets, just depending on what kind of experience you want to have. We also have merch for sale. We might even have merch we're giving away at the studio.
You might shoot them out in those little cool, rocket launchers, shoot some shirts out.
Yeah, we're going to have a little t-shirt gun going out there.
We shouldn't put the pins in there. That would be dangerous.
Yeah, we could kill somebody with that. We got this great merch. Check it out. It's 20% off. 20% off all the merch on my merch site. There you go.
Yeah.
Very cool. Next graphic. Okay, so patreon.com/Revive SC2. Guys, we need your support. We're trying to do something pretty cool here. We're trying to get, kind of regular StarCraft II content that's well produced, that's smooth, that's high quality. And because of you guys, we've been able to build this studio space. Because of you guys, we're going to be able to rent out this big esports arena.
Yeah.
So anything that you can give, we are happy to take it. If you are not in a position financially to support us, no problem. You can join the Patreon for free and get emails and updates there. But yeah, do consider joining us, please. Another way to help us, it's totally free. Did I just sound like a YouTuber for a second? Like and subscribe. I love that when YouTubers do that. You can subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost any money. I'm like, how old do you think I am that I think I have to pay for your YouTube subscription? So guys, we need to grow the YouTube. It's really important. I think a lot of people just don't know this is going on. But the more that this gets into the YouTube bloodstream, the YouTube ecosystem, it'll cross-pollinate back onto Twitch and everything else. And we just want to get this out to as many people as possible. I think a lot of people that watch StarCraft, like some of them are on StarCraft news sites like Team Liquid, some are on Redditors. They're wearing their fedoras with the feathers in them. Others, they're just playing. There's all sorts of different people. But the point I'm trying to make is everybody's sort of fragmented. But a great way to kind of get this out there is to help us grow the YouTube because everybody's on YouTube. Special thanks to Archon Studio. They are making the StarCraft tabletop miniatures game, and guess what? I happen to be holding one of the figurines.
Oh, don't say that. Oh my God, it's so good.
Zeratul.
Oh, it's so cool.
Can you tell? You can tell because Zeratul has serious gamer back. He's kind of like me. He's kind of leaning over like that. That's how DTs are. They did a great job with these.
Yeah,
honestly,
really good.
It looks so good. There's more miniatures obviously to come. They didn't just make Zeratul and nothing else. Go to their website, Archon Studio. This is a company based out of Poland, and they're like the best tabletop makers in the whole world. And honestly, everything on their site is really cool.
Yeah. Different games as well, not just StarCraft. So if you like other stuff, go ahead, check them out.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got really cool stuff.
You're going to cheat on our game and try another game?
Yeah,
Okay.
wait, you can't do that,
we
actually,
won't know. That could be exciting. So, check them out. Special thanks to them for sponsoring us. Very cool that, right at Season 1, we got sponsored.
Yeah.
Before we'd even gone live.
And they stuck around with us the entire time. They apparently liked their investments.
Yeah,
that's always very cool.
So we really appreciate them. And basically, December 13th, 14th. I think next year we'll probably have this not so late in the year. I know that's kind of the Christmas season, but we started RSL we started the Patreon in,
I think April?
Yeah, I think April. Mm-hmm. And so we just didn't have a lot of time between the 3 seasons and then EWC was happening. And we're going to do this offline event. We had to kind of pull it right off here at the end of the year. But we hope you get some tickets. And if you can't, no problem. We hope you join us, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube. Any closing thoughts, Gemini?
I just have loved this season. It was, a great finals as well. We finally got that full reset, which is so sick.
Yes.
And, I'm just so excited for this offline finals. I can't wait to see all the nerds in real person.
It's going to be so sick.
It's going to be great.
We love you guys. Thank you for joining us for Season 3. We will see you at the offline finals. Bye-bye.